Oh, good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of the Closing Argument. Um, Today is Wednesday, March 27th, 2024, and we are back on the Closing Argument. Another interesting edition is about to unfold. I want to welcome all our viewers from around the world. We are live on Hot FM and True FM in Liberia and other local radio stations throughout the country. Uh, as you're aware, a lot's been going on in our country, and it's only good that we discuss it tonight. While we are waiting the others to join us, as we were coming to getting ready for the show, we receive information from France. A French court today handed former Liberian rebel commander Conti Camara a 30-year prison sentence for violence against civilians and complicity in crimes against humanity during Liberia's first civil war. Camara, now 49, had been sentenced to life in prison during a first trial in Paris in 2022. The Paris Criminal Court, after an appeals trial that lasted 3 weeks, upheld a guilty verdict against Camara for crimes against civilians between 1993 and 1994, including a teacher whose heart he reportedly ate. He was again found guilty of complicity in crimes against humanity for not preventing soldiers under his command from repeatedly raping 2 teenage girls in 1994. The prosecution had on Monday urged the court to uphold his life sentence. The allegations against Camara date back to the early years of the back-to-back civil war. Well, it appears that only foreign courts, only the international community can help us fight impunity.
All right, so today is Wednesday, the 27th day in the month of March, and the year is 2024. So I'd like to say a very good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night for those of you monitoring us online, Facebook online, and then Twitter online, and for those of you in Liberia. So I'd like to say good evening, welcome to another edition.
Ansu, can you hear me? Ansu, I think he's not getting me. Ansu. Yeah, it appears I don't think Ansu was hearing me. But again, like I said, good to be back on the closing argument. Today is March 27th, 2024, and another edition of the closing argument is here. It's good to see everyone. We are live on Truth FM and Hard FM in Monrovia and several local stations throughout Liberia. I see the chairman just entered. Ben, I noticed what are you doing with your head? Are you think like you shave your right?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to grow it. I've been losing. Something was going on with my head, so I grow it out.
You're gonna let it be the one?
Oh no! You know I got time to do that foolishness. I'm just doing it for a few days, and then when I cut it, I'm going to
Well, I thought you coming good do dread.
I beg you, I look
You look nice with dread on.
hell no.
I'm kidding.
That's not gonna.
Ben, I remember a couple of years, I think almost 15 years ago out in Rhode Island, I tried that thing. I said, okay, I will not cut my hair. I will not even comb my hair. I leave it. Hello, some guys are throwing that on you.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just it's there's something I'm doing with my the doctors asked me to just grow it out.
Oh, okay.
That I felt like I was losing some hair. Like I felt like I was but it's okay. But I will go back to my normal. Yeah. What Edwin said at old age. Yeah, at old age, I get the old man.
Like brain poor problem making the man old. The man, young man, the man gray hair now for his head.
No.
That brain poor problem. But Chairman, look, welcome, Chairman. And a lot of interesting news happening. I think first of all, I just listened to a major press conference from the CDC. I think the legislative caucus. I saw even the former party chairman, Malu show up, I think. Also, Yeke came with.
Malu did show up. I didn't even see that. I was in a meeting all day, so I didn't.
Yeah. So they all show up, and we discussed that. But then, as I was coming to show, France just handed Liberian rebel guys a 30-year sentence, right?
Oh yes, that I saw that.
Country Tamara, I think he was sent to life in prison, but then they just gave him 30 years instead. The guy is 49, so 30 years. Talking about 79, you almost 80 when you come from jail.
Yeah,
but
that's we're gonna be looking forward to this war in economic ground code. I saw Representative Chris Smith issue a very strong statement today, also. And I think we need to pay attention to that. Also, the pressure. One of the things I'm fascinated about. Sorry, I'm reading a comment from Rachel. She said, "My hair, received like Steve Smith."
But Chairman, immediately I saw Chris Smith's statement. I contacted his office, his New Jersey office in Washington D.C. office right away, and I got in touch with them. They confirmed it.
Yeah,
from his office.
Yeah,
and I even said one of the go further. So they gave me an email. I sent an email right away. So hopefully we'll hear from them tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
what I'm fascinated by, I don't see a lot of my friends from the UP sharing Chris Smith's statement.
No, they won't.
It's one statement that I want one congressman I know when he used to issue statement
on CDC. Oh yeah. Oh, they will share.
They will be sharing it, but it's interesting to see what happens. And then I'm also interested in talking about the asset recovery thing that's going on.
Yes.
So it's interesting. We're gonna watch and see what happens. Something similar to what we also something similar is disturbing what's going on, right? With the way they're carrying on this asset recovery thing. The other thing that I'm very fascinated about is, when the CDC won the elections, after they took over also in 2018, something similar like this happened, right? And I like to be fair in my analysis. Something similar like this happened because what happens is that, and Tomalin, the government of Liberia has a fleet management policy. So listen, I think that fleet management policy sometimes is a little crazy because of how how cheap sometimes they sell government assets for. But you can also argue the reality regarding the way people take care of government assets, right? The truth is, what I see happening is also very dangerous when you think about the way they're going about doing it. So hopefully we can get a chance to talk about that today. And then I think the other thing has to do with this thing with NOCAL, right? I understand there is this craziness going on regarding the contract that was given to BMC. One good thing is that we do have all of the documents in our possession to show where these contracts went, what the process that was, the process was followed, the laws that were put in place when it comes to procurement were followed. So I'm looking forward to us having a fascinating conversation today. about
Yes,
it.
great, Chairman. And we'll talk about the asset recovery, Christmas statement, the war crimes code, President We are having invitation, and but the first thing we'll talk about, let's talk about this NUCA first. Let's start it, we'll get it going.
Mhm.
NUCA. We've been trying to dig on the story all day. NUCA, under the leadership of Safua Megre, they embark on the building of a brand new building of their own. The BMC group signed a contract with NUCA. It was awarded through competitive bidding process that was approved by PPCC, and the issue of no objection. PPC issued a no objection to the contract. The first payment was received or issued by NUCA through a check from the bank, and then it went through the red process. You can even see the chronological order.
Yeah.
The budget approval on 16th of January 2023, the approval of procurement plan. On April 3rd, approval of the bid document. April 4th, publication of invitation to bid. May 16th of 2023, submission deadline and bid opening. In June, the bid evaluation process from May to June 2023. From 13th of June, review and approval of the bid evaluation panel report. On June 15, contract awarded notification to PPCC. And on 21st of June, PPCC issued a no objection to award approved project. They notified the bidders on the 20th of June. Letter of acceptance issued to successful bidder, 30th of June. The contract was finalized, and I think we hope you can show the pictures on 30th of July 2023. So BMC Group went through the right process, and they got the contract. They were awarded the contract. But then when the United Party government took over, they started to go after the contract. And apparently they thought somebody did some illegal process with the contract. So they went after it. They went to LACC to investigate to find out the entire project, the contract, how it was awarded. And my understanding is that they realized that BMC went through the right process, and the contract is legit. But to the surprise of many, LACC did something that was unusual. They gave the report, put it into the media, which was unprofessional, was wrong. And so now they tried. I think I heard that they even Safua and all, she was contacted by LACC to go there to justify this contract, and the guy from BMC, they went there all to take care of this process. And now, Kev, good you show up. Who's the guy in charge of the BMC project? What's his name again? You muted.
You mean the Hassan Kubasi?
Yeah, Hassan Kubasi, yes. Yeah. So everything the guy did, he did everything was done. He did it. Everything was done the proper way. But then to the surprise, they tried to make his contract illegitimate. But now, the embarrassing part now, I don't know where they are, because this project is almost done. I think you can show the pictures. And I give credit to Safua and her team for this project. The new building, the required building is almost completed. Because just imagine right now, some of the issues they're talking about on NUCA now, they're about to pay $150,000 for rent on NUCA. So if this building is completed, they won't be paying that amount of money. So I want you guys to weigh in on this before the first thing to discuss about this NUCA stuff. I don't think it's fair. I think the LACC they did bad, but it was wrong for leaking this information to the media. And the Unity Party folks that are trying to undermine this project, I think they are not doing it in good faith. I don't think it's fair. Government's continuity, and what they are doing, they're looking for all kinds of stuff on the former government. I mean, like I said again, I have no problem with them doing audits or whoever they want to do, but do it the right way. Do it the right way, but what they are doing, I think, is unfair. But you guys can weigh in on this project.
Yeah, let me comment. Let me start. Look, first of all, I want to give kudos to the Safua Gray's leadership team, right? And that's one of the highlights of the WIA administration. One of the things they did well or they started to do well was taking government out of government agencies, out of commercial properties, right, where government were paying rent to these to respective landlords. We thank the Chinese because the Chinese ended up building the ministerial complex. So that has saved government a lot of resources when it comes. They don't have to worry about paying rent anymore. Correct. The reason I say that is because I think it was far-sighted for any leadership of any entity, any state-owned enterprise, right, to begin that process. I think Maritime now has its own building. NSA has its own building. NOCAL is getting ready to have its own building. MPA has its building. LPRC, all of these different entities, and I think I'm missing a few of them, right? I think Fisheries, NICOL, all of them, right? These young leaders came and embarked, and I think this was one of the visions of former President Weah, when he made it very clear to them to take these entities out of government, out of rental properties. Why am I saying that? One of the things that makes investors want to come to your country is that when they come in, they believe whatever contracts they sign, right, if they go through the right process, that those contracts will be honored, no matter what happens, whether there's a change of government, whether it's fascinating to see, right? And we can make the argument about all these different things and all the other things that people are talking about. If a company or if a corporation or if a business goes through the right procedures to secure a contract, go through the right procedures, go through everything legally. You may have a difference of opinion, or you may have a difference on whether that procedure is correct or is not correct, right? But it is the law, it is the procedure. Once they go through that procedure, I think the contract should be respected. Government is continuity. There were several projects that the CDC government inherited in 2018, and they stuck with the existing contractors or people who were contracted to do it under the Unity Party administration. We cannot start having these things where we start having conversations where every time a new government comes, it's almost like you break down everything the old government attempted to do or started to do, and then you start doing your own thing because people have different interests. At the end of the day, I think from the information that I have seen, and I think we all have seen, it clearly showed that BMC had followed all of the procedures, all of the things. I was even impressed to see the level of the level of work that have been done to the building. The building is fully done. It's structural. I mean, hopefully we can put some of the pictures up, right? The building is done. The only thing I think they just need to do some finishing touches on it, get the glass and stuff like that. So my thing is, why come in the middle of the game to try to take a contract that was legitimately awarded, right, to a company? That company can sue the Liberian government. Do we want to go through that rigmarole? I don't think it's right. I think there's so many other things. You know what? Go construct other government functionary buildings and award the contracts to people who you want to award the contracts to. But just make sure you follow the procurement laws that are on the books. And from what we have seen, the information that we have gathered, the investigation that we have done, the BMC company follow all of the procedures and all of the laws in the country, and they should be left alone to go ahead and complete the project and let NOCAL go ahead and move into their building.
Look, before Keff come in, Ben, I couldn't agree with you more because look, give it to Safua and her team, like you said. I think they did an extremely good job, and even President Weah, let give it to the CDC government. On a serious note, Unity Party was there for 12 years, but guess what? President Weah, they able to, under the CDC government, they have a brand new NSA, modern state-of-the-art NSA building. MPA building is have a brand new NPA headquarters. NOCA is almost done, 90% is complete. LPRC, the executive mansion, the foreign ministry, and it was on the UP government. The executive mansion got burned, and every year they were putting money in the budget. Now that's why I say, President Boga, you want audit? Just talk about audit. Go there. What happened to the money you guys were putting in the budget every year for the repair the executive mansion? It was not until when the CDC took power, before McGill, when he was Minister of State, so I had to undertake to go after that project. And we administration spent millions of dollars. And I did a tour of the mansion. The mansion you see every day, Burger putting on Facebook now. That mansion, I went there. Everything was brand new. An elevator, everything. The CDC government gave them credit. They handed a brand new executive mansion to the Burger administration. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Madam Benslow got a brand new ministry. I mean, I did a tour of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Came here, gave him credit. The guys, I mean, that mansion is the foreign ministry. So give them credit for that. Okay. But like Ben said, what they are doing right now to undermine BMC is not right, is wrong, and we should condemn it in unreserved term. But Keff, maybe you want to weigh in, Keff.
Let me say this, guys. When the CDC took over, when Safua Gray took over NOCAL was ground zero. NOCAL was under the water. And we all know the famous interview by Al Jazeera to Madam Ellen, talk about NOCAL, what happened to NOCAL. We all saw that interview. That NOCAL was all the way down. But now with Safua Gray left NOCAL, and if I'm not mistaken, the budget went up on NOCAL. NOCAL began become a place that we can be proud of NOCAL. I hope, like Ben was just saying, I hope they will put the picture up of the new NOCAL building. If you're paying $150,000, it's $150,000, right, Ben? A year, right?
Yes, as far as
year, right?
Yes, the rent.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're paying under Safua Gray regime, if that finish, you're not going to be paying that money again. It's money saved for the country. But this government now trying to bring everything down. This gentleman, we got the information, we got the pictures, legitimate contract by Hassan Kubasi, if I'm calling his last name correctly. We got a picture. I just sent the picture to the guys in the back. I hope that they can upload that picture, and you will see the signing ceremony and everything. But this government saying we'll take it from you. The idea of this government thinking that the country is for them, that gangster mentality that we will walk in and we will do anything, we will stop you, we will take this from you, we will take you out of your house in pajamas, we will put you on the street, we will do this. That they think Liberia is a gangster paradise in the mind. They will walk around and just do anything. Liberia should be a country of laws. If this gentleman, I think Tomalin, you have to break down on the timeline of the bidding, the months and everything.
Yeah, he read it. He read it
already before I came on, right? He read it. Okay. You see, so the process went on. It's there. It's documented. We have everything. Picture showing the signing. I know maybe the studio will try to upload it and let the people see the gentleman went through the bidding and every single thing. Then you come and say the country is for you. But we get news for the Unity Party. Liberia belongs to everybody, all Liberians, and we will resist it. We will resist it. That's the news we get for them. We will resist this. And you're watching and see what will happen.
Honorable Kelabo Gonglo. Yeah, Kelabo, I think you're aware about what we're discussing. The first thing we're discussing about this NOCAL new building and the attempt by the UP. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, can you put the picture up before Kelabo? Maybe Kelabo can wait.
And can you also put the pictures up of the
yes
of the buildings?
Yes.
In this picture,
That's what I'm worried.
In
Yeah,
this
come
picture
and address it.
is the guy from BMC. Is the former Noka boss, Safua Megre, and standing there is the legal counsel for Noka, or Councillor Gerard Bachu. So you know these are and these are the people that were involved with the signing of that contract, a legitimate contract, a contract that went through the right process, the PPCC process, and I think on June 23rd or 21st, and PPCC said that the project was approved and no objection, and letter of acceptance were received by the bidders on the 30th of June, and this contract signing took place on July 23rd, July 13th of last year. And so today, just imagine what the building, to show you how far the guys have gone. They have done an extremely great job. Well, again, I will say it again on this public manner. I want to congratulate Madam Safua May Gray and her team, her management team at the car, for such a great initiative. I think to reach this far, because when they took over, and as I said earlier, Luca is about to pay another 150K for rent. So with the signing of that, with this completion of this building, you won't be paying that money again. So you want to get a hands off for that. But now our UP folks took over. They wanted to undermine this project. They want to even stop it. They want to stop it and think that this thing was done the wrong way. And I mean, I thought government's continuity, and I'm sure during the turnover notes during the transition period, Safua may have. I'm sure she told them about the project and left it, And right now, they try to undermine it wrong, and I think that's why everyone should condemn it strongly. Is that how you do government? But Karabo, you want to weigh in?
Yes, I will say something that maybe most of you may not like, but I will say this. No, when it comes to CDC and Unity Party trading accusation against each other, sometimes I just laugh. This is basically a race between who is darker than each other. CDC and Unity Party are the two parties of corruption in Liberia. We are talking corruption and underdevelopment in Liberia today because these two parties have failed. They ran out of ideas for governance. For the past 18 plus years, those are the two parties that have put us where we are. Yes, Liberia has been bad, but the CDC and the Unity Party are the worst governing party in the country history. This is where we are today. I checked this thing now, or Tomalin. The guys went through the procurement procedure. Everything is correct. Just like today, Polo Works Minister, how do you call it,
Giddings.
They've given about 21 million United States dollars contract out before even the budget passing. The budget has not passed the legislature yet, but Gideon have entered construction contract under the guise that they need to deliver 100 days delivery based on the president 100 days plan. All they did, because under the PPC you can go and ask for single sourcing. But that single sourcing has been abused. Because the idea of the single sourcing, it must be something emergency that you did not envisage that it was going to ever come. It was just trusted upon you. So you go there to ask for single sourcing because it is an urgent thing. You did not plan for this. It got to happen. It's time bound. But they knew from December the 1, in fact, in November, that they were going to have 100 days delivery. So they could have put all these plans together. What was that emergency? They went, they got it. But they're taking advantage of the law. Just as Donald Trump would take advantage of the law in the United States. It's the same thing was done at Noka. Talk about Noka. The Unity Party guys don't trust what was done at Noka, even though Safua May Gray and her team went through the procedure. But guess what happened with the Unity Party? More than $80 million squandered. Because of that, they don't trust the other men who are sitting there. Even if you do the right thing, they say, okay, we know we ate $80 million there before. We made it to the same thing. So these two parties are the parties of corruption. And that's why we went through here. That's my comment on this matter. They are just
Yeah.
trading.
I want to say something.
Go
I
ahead.
want to say something.
Go ahead, Chairman.
I want to say something before Grace come in and you. Something. Sorry. And I listen. I hear Kelebo, but let me tell you where I think we should. How I think we should start to address these things. Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you know what? Every time I always used to think about the way what you were saying, Kelebo, and me and you have had conversations in the back about this. I like to look at it this way. More than likely, I believe we have a multi-party democracy in our country. We do. The laws are on the books, right? Like in the US, there's multi-party democracy here. Tons of people are running for president, even though only Democrat and Republicans we hear about, right?
No.
In fact, I was surprised when I saw Robert Kennedy naming a VP. I said, oh, a candidate is actually running for president. And the Democratic Party, they didn't going all crazy about it. But why am I saying this? We may have to just come to the realization that these two political institutions, these two political coalitions, because both of them are alliances, right? They got coalitions attached to them. We may, and I may be wrong on this, but this is just my hypothesis, right? We may just come to the realization, and I think the test for that will be 2029. Because at the end of the day, depending on if Mr. Borkai or Mr. Weah, if either one of them, if none of them on a ticket, then we will watch to see what will happen, right? Because since 2005, and I think you brought this up the last time, there has been the same people, all the people who became president, who have become president of Liberia, have been on a national ticket since 2005, right? Either in some kind of way, vice president or president. Why am I saying this? Maybe it is high time we start to look at the possibility that, hey, maybe this is the new configuration of our political alignment in our country, to see how people can get invested into these institutions to see if you can become, maybe Kelabo Gonglo can go and join Unity Party and determine, or CDC, right? And determine, say, listen, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to start to work for change. I want to say that to say because a vast majority of our voting population, from the way they voted in the last election, or the way they've been voting in the last couple of in the elections of our new dispensation, they have consistently given these two political parties a majority of the votes between the two of them. I just thought to bring that up because I know sometimes it's a little easier for us to just say, you know what, the two of them have been governing the country. The two of them are the parties of corruption. But guess what? The two of them are the two most dominant political forces in the country. That's
Ben, I know Grace will come in. I don't disagree with you on this. The fact that this has been a seesaw battle, exchange of titles between CDC and Unity Party. I don't disagree with that. But it also does not exonerate them of the...
No, I'm not telling you. No, I'm not yet. I agree with you.
Managing state resources. They are known for mismanagement of state resources.
Yeah.
We have poor education system. We have poor health system.
Because of the two of them. I agree with you.
People have no idea on how to manage state resources.
And the last thing on this is the two political institutions have had enough time in power to be able to move the needle on a lot of the things that we are complaining about today.
So for example, today, nothing has stopped the CDC from auditing the Unity Party administration. Some of us clamor for that. In fact, I personally spoke to a high-level official in 2018 that, look, let's open a Harold Greaves case. I believe Harold Greaves was murdered. It was a political murder. I still believe that today. The president said we're not going to go there. In fact, that president now met here in the U.S. in a hotel in Washington, D.C. And the president said to me, we wanted to go after the executive marshal audit, but somebody advised us, let's leave the old man to rest. I said, but you are derogating your duty. The executive marshal is where $48 million was wasted, our tax dollar. It was like a funnel where they're passing the money through. It goes in the bucket, and just the bucket has a big hole on it, and just go through.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. I agree with you. We'll have another show on these two political institutions because I know you're very passionate about it, but I didn't want us to.
Ben,
maybe hopefully Grace can.
And what team did well, but there's a mistrust because it's just like if I'm a thief I don't trust the next Steve. That is what is happening here. That's what I can sum it.
Yeah. Okay. But honestly, I agree. But like I said, I was saying, we welcome audit, welcome everything, but it should be done the right way. But on the issue about this no-car contract, that's something that, I mean, it's not nothing about what else CDC did that. But the fact of the matter is that they're trying to undermine a legitimate contract, and that's wrong. The contract went through the right process, and it's wrong. What they're trying to do is wrong, and we should condemn it. That's not how you do governance. That's not how you do when they say government is continuity. You don't know how you do it. So it's wrong. They went through the right process, and honestly, for 12 years, Unity Party ran Liberia, and under the Unity Party, President Sadi said, she took the blame for Nuka going bankrupt. How many money was spent? Almost more than $17 billion went in the breeze. You can't get it, like you said again.
That was $18 million.
I blame CDC for not auditing, going through the audit because they would have caught them in the cookie jar. But Rawat Salif and his team took away all that money. You can't get a kind of it. So, but
and Tony or Tomalin, you know what?
Yeah.
Rawat Salif funded Unity Party campaign.
I know that.
We know that.
But
he get money for the inauguration as well. Rawat Salif funded.
So the reality is that
campaign.
For the fact that money was put into Noka and nothing came out of it.
That's why they couldn't even do anything.
This young lady took over Noka and she's supposed to produce a modern building, instead of the art building that will be finished in any time, that will be dedicated by President Boyka, I'm sure, and the honor the administration. I'm thinking about right for what they are doing. But Grace, welcome, and you can join the conversation as we make progress. Guys, I come in, Grace. We're also talking later on, we'll talk about the issue in Riverside. I heard there was a landslide in Riverside. 12 people died. I think we'll talk about it later on. But let's that won't be part of our agenda for today. Yeah, go ahead, Grace.
Thank you very much. My name is Grace Corentin Goa, Grace Renell Corentin Goa. And I'm happy to be here.
But why are you calling your phone name?
I want to call my phone name.
Sorry, man. Listen, I want
to call my phone name.
You're your favorite person on the show, so don't
never call your phone name before.
The way you started, I was like, okay, did somebody say something? Okay.
Yeah, somebody said something in the past, so that was somebody.
Okay.
Want to know what my RK stands for, so that was.
Okay, great.
My name is Grace Renell Corentin Goa. I am a Liberian, but look, with this whole Noka thing, I'm not going to sit here and say, congratulations to what Safa Megre did. She was paid to do a job. She did the job. And it's nice to see the government have that, to be able to, dedicate to the Liberian people and everything. She did a very good job doing that, and, we kudos to her for that. As far as these two different parties that Ben want to shut down, what that we should accept at all costs in Liberia. They want to shut it down. What that the two-party system they want to bring to Liberia.
Oh,
these two parties are infested. They are. I don't know how to describe them. The words are not enough for me. The way these parties carry on with the corruption and the people within those parties. How is it that the other Liberian people who are so clean and clear to join these people and be able to survive in those parties? I want to see it happen. It's time for Liberians to change their direction to a whole new different place. And if they don't do it 2029, then they put themselves in trouble. These two parties need to go away. They need to be, done with for now, the next election, and let Liberian people try a whole new system and party, new breed of people. That's what I think in my heart. Because these two political parties, they have done nothing good for Liberia. Liberia have failed under them over and over again. Sometimes you think they're even part of my Senate people, that they're just in line, as that Senegalese leader said. They put it in line in a headed tempo and tell you that you the one will lead the country this time, the other person in line that time. We don't want that. We want a new system, a new breed of Liberian, a new party, a new president, everything to take over our nation. CDC and UP has to go. They have to go. If Liberian people don't see it now, they're doing detriment to their own country, and they're doing detriment to the people. The two-party system will not work in Liberia, period.
So let me
just they have no more any new idea on how to govern.
No. This is where I disagree with the two of you. Because I think you guys are focusing on the name of the parties, and also the Democratic Party in this country was once the party remembered for slavery. The Democratic Party. Martin Luther King was a card-carrying member of the Republican Party, because the Republican Party, that was the party of Lincoln, right? But which political party gave birth, or which political party birthed the first black president in this country? It was the Democratic Party. So my argument here is, instead of us, because look, whether we like it or not, many people, a lot of the people, Grace, people like yourself, myself, Kelabo, or people who are from third parties, right? Who are card-holding members from third parties or independent or profess independence, right? We are not in the majority. That is just the fact. We have a choice to make. We can either sit down, right, and say, you know what, they are infested, they're this, they're that, and continue to just be the noise, the loud ones in the minority, and they continue to run the country. Or we can become a part of these parties and bring in some of the changes that we need to bring in from our
with collaboration, Ben. We are not
saying.
with collaboration, not with the party, no way. The people too corrupt in these parties, and they are destroy Liberia. We're not going to do
Grace. And for me, and I know I want us to change the topic. I think definitely this has given me an idea, totally, for us to have a whole show on the political arrangement in Liberia, right? But I will repeat what I said. I think this is hard time that we start to think about this, that whether we like it or not, we're a very small country, right? And I think the notion that we continue to have that these two political parties, for some reason, is just going to evaporate because the Liberian people are going to get fed up and say these two parties destroy the country. I don't think that's going to happen. I think what needs to happen is that people who feel they have alternative ideas, not necessarily better ideas, because I don't believe I'm better than any other Liberian, right? But I may have a different idea on how I want to see the country go. Maybe we can form alliances with these political parties. That's why for somebody like myself, I have been very clear that moving forward, I will align with the CDC. And let me tell you why I say so, and this will be my last topic on this. The reason I'm aligning with the CDC is because I believe the CDC has the voters of the future. They have the most potential to be able, with the CDC, you have the most potential to be able to make the kind of impact that you are talking about, Grace. When you look at the first-time voters that voted for President Weah, that's the voter for the next 5 election cycles that we're talking about. So I'm just saying, I think it's something that we need to start to consider. Tomalin, take your show.
No. So we can let this, Ben. I think we have the conversation. I have said publicly and in private that I am CDC leaning, but I can just jump to a political party. I have to see everything start to calibrate, start to move. Okay. For example, a little bit uneasy, but I'm happy that we have our young comrade as acting chairman. I know him, and I know I can trust him on many issues. So that's somebody I'm prepared to have conversation with him on all these things. But the point we're making is just a conversation. It doesn't mean CDC and the party are not the most popular political parties in Liberia. They are, by every measure, they are. I agree with you on this. All we say here, we're going to have this conversation as we go towards 2029. You and I have had that, and in fact, immediately after the election, I said to my friend, I'm taking a car in CDC, but I'm not rushing with this.
Well, Ben, let me just boss Chris a balloon a little bit.
Okay, before you buzz my, let me say one thing.
No, wait, that's 2 seconds. That's 2 seconds.
If you watch the show last week, on Monday you were
the one saying your eyes leaning towards CDC. Don't say nothing.
No. Why is she going there? No, I'm not saying something bad. Ben, you were there. At the Charlene party when I was talking with Clarence Modiva. I think you took the picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were talking with Clarence. He too got a desire, like you. That's what we're talking about. Exactly.
All right.
So let me just leave it. So let's leave it.
So look, all of our guys again, like I said, to just end on this topic, it is wrong the BMC,
yeah.
the BMC group, the contract is legitimate. They went through the right process, and Unity Party people, you all let the people finish the building and give them credit. I mean, we can talk about this another time.
And just my last talk on that topic, I believe not on the party building. I feel the party building because Grace laughing like I mean with party story for, but on this topic with Nukal, listen, the Unity Party cannot, or the Unity Party led government. Let me stop saying the Unity Party because they're not the Unity Party, right? That this government, the Joe Burkhardt Jeremiah Cohen administration, have to get serious about doing things the right way in Liberia. You cannot come to power. Look, you have to be you have to accept your victory with magnanimity. You cannot be an angry victor. It doesn't work. What you're doing to yourself, you're literally shooting yourself in the leg. Because at the end of the day, when you cause all of these distractions, like I said, nobody will want to invest in a country where they believe if they follow procurement processes, they go by the laws that are on your book. They may not be perfect laws, but guess what? That's the law. These are the laws that you have on your book, right? Nobody will want to be a part of anything in your country if they feel that at the end of the day, if there's a change of government, the new government can just kind of say, you know what? We don't like the way your company logo looks, so we're going to move you from this contract that you have. And who wants to go through the whole process of trying to go to court and trying to do all of those things? I don't think anybody wants to do that. So I think they need to respect whatever the contract is. I think if you are going to take any punitive measure, any punitive action against BMC, let it be based on performance. If they're not doing what they're supposed to do, or if they're not living up to the contractual terms of the contract they signed, then you have the whatever. Then you have the ground to go about saying, you know what, I want to go ahead and change. I want to go ahead and change or to terminate the contract. But I think anything short of that, go ahead, give the people the chance, let them go finish the building, and let Nukal start saving the Liberian people $150,000 a year that they have to pay in rent. That's something that they have to, that is a bill that the Liberian government has to foot. That's all. That's my point on this.
Yeah. As we end on this topic, let me just say this. Look, say what you want to say about Safua, but trust me, she could have taken all that money, a lot of money from Nukal, and just start putting it in that building. She was taking that money and say, well, Ross said he did the same thing. And President Sadi said she took the blame. So I'll do the same thing, and then we have to take the blame too. But
and she will come to go to prison for doing that.
Ross didn't go to prison, she will go to prison, right?
Yeah, but the reason why most people are against this, you people.
Yeah, okay, I agree. But so now the reality is that I gave her kudos, I gave her credit for that.
In reality, UP won. I don't know when you say most people against UP.
She was far-sighted.
That's a place of corruption. They love corruption.
To prioritize this building. Come and get a modest of our building, and I want to say Safua made great. Thank you for this about this building. That tomorrow we won't be paying $150,000 a month to somebody for rent. So the building almost completed. UP folks, you just let the man continue the project and finish the project so Baga can dedicate this project. And in dedicating the project, call Safua, call President. We had to all be part of that process that day when you're dedicating the project. But let's make progress.
So we're not the building almost completed. So that the building there ever since success here. You want to tell me she couldn't?
No. This thing when I put. Look, I come in now, Grace.
No, but Grace, you gotta be. Let's be fair.
That was finalized on July.
Let's be fair to her when the Nukal she inherited was in trouble. Let's be fair to her.
Let the bank
when the building started, though, when the building started,
the contract agreement was finalized 13th of July last year.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, you give her credit for
I thought it started from the beginning of the.
I give her a year, and she had been almost done. I give her credit for that, though. On a serious note, I mean,
the lady was doing her job. Someone said, "You stop that thing because if they do their job, that woman will pay thousands and thousands like bring.
You gotta give her
money.
But what's wrong? But for me, it's not even about her. What's wrong with
she was taking a different direction.
What all the other people that were behind it, beside her, the entire team that did
but she's the leader now.
That's what they will say. We get
Grace, you know Nukal stage when Safua took over Nukal.
I knew exactly the stage.
So you should give her kudos for taking it from ground zero to that point.
People left it great. People have over
That's not great.
and
that's what we're saying.
That money.
When you're taking Nokada went bankrupt, when no Nokada, nothing, and now Nokada building, Liberia will boast of a building like this. I think we should give kudos.
Yeah, we did that, but Tomalin keep on repeating the thing over and over. Like they say, all the government officials soon they go do something, then we should praise them. Why the people working for thousands of dollars and living on the taxpayer money, enjoying their lives? They're being paid to do that.
Even okay, but listen, I know you like. I know you like.
But Grace herself,
I know you like Obama, right? Obama took credit. Obama took credit for General.
So what's the tangibles? What's the tangibles that Ms. Green left at Nokada? What tangible she left?
That's what it is.
Let's talk about the tangible.
As compared to Ben Robson, Nokada more than 80 million. So
and she also left money. Nokada get a budget now. Nokada she made that with no budget.
I don't see no tangible, man. I ain't seen no tangible.
How you say tangible? How you say tangible? You see no tangible.
Exactly. You see the bill, you say you see
exactly.
You see bill, you see you see
tangible. We see the unfinished building. They say that.
But I think, for me, this is what I would say. For me, I think when someone it's just like you working any corporate setting. They have employee appreciation day. They have employee appreciation day. They give people certificates for doing a good job. It doesn't mean that you're getting paid. It means you're getting paid, right? It just means that you took an extra step. The Nokada, let's be fair with Safwa. The Nokada that Safwa inherited was on the ground, was virtually bankrupt. For her to be able to, and a lot of people, let me state for the record, there are a lot of people question her competence when she got appointed. A lot of people thought that she was too small, or they say that job was too big for her. People had a lot of things to say about her. For her, in the end, to leave on this note and to be able, there are many state-owned corporations in Liberia that got turned over, and they are in worse states than they were in when people inherited it. So I think we should give her some kudos.
Yeah, but you see, for a country like Liberia, Ben Sanvee, for a country like Liberia, so those things there. We give kudos to them because most of the people in the country and the government always corrupt and people steal money. So therefore, I understand where you're coming from. I just think even the companies and government and state and team people work for like in America, they give kudos to the team.
They get kudos, and guess what? They get CEO bonuses. They give them bonuses. Millions of dollars in bonuses.
Okay, they get them bonuses on how long they stay there and what.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
What they accomplish in the time they stay there.
In some instances, they get them bonosis on how long you see them, but in some instances, but you see, let me say that. Let me say something.
If you comparing the 12 years they put the other people there, and what they left.
Listen,
you already know that other people feel. They try
again. But again, we should not take the side of this individual Hassan guy, who actually the Unity Party is going after.
We've been clear on that.
Unity Party actually.
I think for me, we're clear on that. Once you have
LSC, the guy got it. Everything is legit. So I think they are just embarrassed now with it because they thought that thing was some sinister thing was involved, but they realized that everything is legit. So billing. They're going as a recovery, guys. Before the as a recovery issue, there have been existing policy since President Taylor time found out today. Since President Taylor time that after 3 years, when the government give you card, they depreciate it in 3 years. You can sell a car to you for a discount price. And it's been happening President Taylor time, President Salif, and President Weah. But the asset recovery thing, which again, as I said, I love it. It's a good thing, but there are the wrong people that are doing the job. LCC should be doing this job. And that's why I will say again, I'm happy they put 1.5 million in the budget for them. I'm calling the senators not to approve 1 cent for the people. Let them work free. They want to do things the wrong way. You shouldn't give them 1 cent in the budget for this job. Empower LACC, strengthen them, get them more money, they will do the job. But you saw today people who, what happened today? They embarrassed the former director of police. Embarrassed, talking from his car, and he had to impound his car. The man told them that he bought his car through the process. They said, well, park the car, they took it to GSA, and then we're going to check the record. If the money that you pay for this car is not satisfactory to us, we'll give our money back to you and give our car. But what they do know, the man car, that car is 2016 GP, they impounded, and they lost it 3 years. So, I mean, they can change, if President Boga is serious, he can change the law, say, look, let us cut it off, no more that process. But what is existing that's in place, follow it. But what they are doing right now, taking people cars from them and telling them this and that, yeah, for those who taking government property that don't belong to you, yeah, you can take I mean, you shouldn't take the poor car when you're going, when government leave power. Get a car, turn over. But most of the people went through the process, purchased the car the right way with the documentation. But what they are doing, I think, is wrong. And I think we'll talk about it later on. CDC came up with a strong position today, the press conference. And again, they are putting the Boga government on notice, including the international community, that they should stop what they are doing because trouble is starting. And as I end to bring the other guys in, if anything should happen in that country right now, President Boga should be held responsible because he provoking the former the opposition party, and chaos is coming in that country. We are playing with it. It will get serious later on because to every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So what happened today? You guys can weigh on the asset recovery process, but for me, I say that the Senate the lawmakers should not approve 1 cent for the asset recovery team. They shouldn't get 1 cent in the budget for it. But guys, Ben, you can weigh in and we'll move on.
Thank you. Well, first of all, and I hear I agree with what you just said, but let me also state for the record, again, I want to remind my friends from the Unity Party that when they left power 6 years ago, something similar like this happened, and it was wrong, right? The way some of these things were carried out, but to President, we has credit though. We got to give him some credit. When it got out of hand, he stepped in and he put a stop to it. Because I remember very clearly, and there was a point there was a direct case in point that I knew and I got involved with. It was with Clarence Moneyback, he was then former minister of state with our portfolio and head of the presidential delivery unit. I think they had some team at GSA looking the same thing that you see happening right now. And Mary Broden were in the street doing, stopping people, taking cars and stuff like that. I think there was a process that it was Clarence Moneyback, Jerry McPia, who is today the Minister of Information, Julia Duncan Cassell, the former Minister of Gender during the earlier administration. They all claim they have bought their cars through the fleet management, whatever, the same thing that is happening today. Because it is on the books, you can do that. I may not agree with it, but you can do it, right? That's the law. And it also has to do with the valuation, right? What's the value of the car? Most of the thing that a lot of people forget is how we treat our property, our government property in Liberia. By the time they say something about government property, people just treat it any kind of way they want to treat it. The way they treat cars in Liberia when they say, once they get that GSA mark on it, they treat it like they say, oh, you know what? They won't pay for it because your tax money pay for it. So I don't understand why people have that logic. But the reason I bring that up is because the very people who are in power today, when something similar like this happened 6 years ago, they were the ones crying and condemning it and saying this was not the way to go about doing it. Pray God tell me, you come back to power 6 years later and you doing it even worse because some of the things that I see them doing, I saw them today lining up a bunch of small taxes saying it was for Finabono. Okay, let's just for conversation say, I don't know if it's for her or not. I don't have the information, right? But let's just for conversation say it's for Finabono. Is that the way you see? If you see 6 different taxes What does that text say that it's for government because Finabono was chief of protocol? Are you saying that she worked for 6 years and she can't afford to buy a taxi or to put on it? I'm just saying do things in the right way. Get a court order. So all these people who work for 6 years, they did not get paid. So it mean by the time you work for the Liberian government, you're not supposed to do any business afterwards. You're not supposed to live afterwards. What kind of culture are we encouraging in the country? That's all I'm saying. Let it be done the right way. And let me state for the record. This is my final thought on this before we go to the next person. I am not encouraging anybody who is in possession, any former official of the Liberian government, who is in possession of government property, should turn it over. Why would you even want to wait for the government of Liberia to say, bring our property when you leave in office? The first thing you do on your last day is leave that car at your place of your former ministry or state agency. But if people went through the process and purchased vehicles, whether it was purchased for 5,000, 2,000, whatever they turn, that the law you got on the book, that your evaluation, that the way you went and evaluated and you say the people can buy it, you can't come and clean and take that car and say it's not for the person anymore. If you don't like the law, go to the national legislature and change that law. But you cannot have your cake and eat it. So I think what is happening, I've already said, I think the asset recovery thing is a smoke screen. I saw Emmanuel Gongwe today running all over the street, acting like he's some kind of policeman. I mean, it's just a joke. It's just a joke, and they need to get a hold of it. That's my thought on it.
It's true, though. Kev,
let me come into my. I think what we saw today, I think it's the gross violation of the law. You go in. There may be a personal vendetta. I say things as I want to say against maybe Finabono. They may have something personal against Fina, because you just come up there and say, "Oh, we arrest him. We seizing Fina car. You got no legal document to authorize you to seize a car. There are other government officials. Fina will not even be the most top government official there, and you're going after her, say you're seizing taxi, you don't know whether they belong to her or not, you're taking the former police director car. I don't think they are proceeding in the right way. They are not proceeding the right way, and this is not what they came to power for. I mean, it's good for them to go after people who took government cars. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's a good attempt, it's a good move. But then you must be guided. It should be a gradual process. Go to the court, seek the legal means, have evidence. Don't just go by they say. Oh, they say that Fina got on the taxi. They say this man took a car, and you only rely on they say and embarrassing people in the street. That was complete embarrassment. That were infringing on the civil liberty. I mean, it's really wrong. It's disgraceful. I felt really embarrassed looking at that video today. I think they need to proceed gradually and stop embarrassing peaceful citizens. That's wrong. Threatening peaceful citizens, because it seems like when they hear the name Finabono, it's like she's the bank. Oh, Finabono got she owned it. She owned it. You got no proof that she owned that. You can't show record that she owned those things. I think it's a bad way to proceed. Seek the real seek the real legal means of taking people access. You can't just jump in people and seize people's car in the street and say that government car, you did not turn it over, all of that. I think it's very bad. It's very bad for the country as well.
Yes, Kev, we're in about that again. Like you said, Peabody, you're right. And from what I witnessed today, I think it was wrong. It's bad. You can't just see taxi because somebody say the person, the grace, you impounding it, and you're gonna do that. And again, I'm saying again, I see trouble coming in that country little by little. People were looking at, but that'll be mindful.
Okay, I think let's play the video, guys, so folks out there can see it.
Those yellow taxis. Well, I think our investigation is a broader investigation. There are people who stole government money, bought properties, converted them to their own use, or converted them to their own names. So we are investigating those situations. So the yellow cars you see We have some intelligence, so we are using the intelligence to begin the process of investigating how those yellow cards were being acquired.
So
Especially
if
so,
intelligence something, if you're beginning to investigate, seizing those vehicles, isn't it like jumping to a conclusion before?
No. We are not jumping to conclusion. The most important thing is that these vehicles are flying the street without documents. So that leads to something. And
But you
no
the
car
police?
should be in the street without documents. So these vehicles are flying the street without proper documents. So we can now,
Okay, let's take it out.
Really turning into a joke under the government.
Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody just called Representative Cordova want to weigh in on this asset
Go ahead.
requirement. Go ahead, Representative. Go ahead.
Okay, Tomalin, am I okay now?
Yeah, you live.
Okay, let me say good evening to all your panelists on the show tonight. It's a pleasure being on your show. Look, let me tell you something. I know Joseph Boakai are very irresponsible at this. Joseph Boakai want to carry the country back to the dark days. To be very, very frank with you, you get people that gone to there. They tell the police people arresting poor property. Is this how people achieve poor property? Is this how outside recovery people work? You go, you see somebody tell you, are you a police officer? Are you a police officer? No. See, Tomalin, let me tell you something. We are going out to the CDC parliament. I'm a member of the opposition, and we are going to put the opposition together. These people, their government we brought the government to which one? We brought this government to which one? And let me tell you something. The thing Joseph Boakai want, you will get it. Because we will put the opposition together, and these people want to run after which one? We will not take it from them. We will protect the laws of this country. You cannot be doing asset recovery till you are arresting for taxes. Have you done your work to know that these taxes are wanted by the asset recovery people? Then you say they do not have paper. You police officer, you work with transport ministry. Do these people know the TRO? Do they know what they're supposed to do? I'm playing Joseph Boakai. I spend my money, my time, my resources, my blood, and everything to bring him to power, only to find out that he's very irresponsible. Let me be very fair. I owe no regret for my statement. This man said he worked in government for 45 years, 46 years. We expect him to know better than to know nothing. He knows nothing about government. He knows nothing about governance. But you know what? I will deal with Joseph Boakai under my Palawa hut. And when I deal with Joseph Boakai under my Palawa hut, then he will know that we never elected an old man to witch hunt people. This is complete witch hunt. Is that answer recovery? Because you have to so you go for it? No, I blame George, President Dr. George, when he came to power, he refused to arrest Joseph Boakai for looting the resources of the country, and he admitted that he abused opportunity. He admitted alone was something that she had prosecuted him on. But you know why? We'll wait to see. We may be on the ballot for the presidency. Jojo then will be prosecuted. They will be prosecuted. We know they now have nothing here, but today Jojo has turned to a millionaire. You know what? We'll wait for that time to come. We may be on the ballot. And when the Liberal poll make someone up president of this country, they will never regret. Because Joseph Boakai will be in a grave. We will bring his body out and prosecute that body. And take everything that he stole from the Liberian pool. The manner and form in which he abusing the power of this country. Running after 10 people. At your job, look at the budget he brought. He said he got the budget and put the money to different areas. You think we don't know? Joseph Boakai is a complete dictator. Joseph Boakai is a complete looter. Joseph Boakai is corrupt to the highest. Look in the budget. Ben, don't look in the budget. He took it from honoring. He came to another place to go steal it there. He even got 7 salary. What kind of disgraceful man is it when you want to say you're old man? You're going to put your grandchildren together, let you go mad then. You're putting them in 1 for who? Let you go check that then. He took the Liberal problem and he will resolve it. Those people that are not outside people, they're not recovering nothing, but Joseph Boakai put back this, and Joseph Boakai will follow with it. We will have no regret but to challenge him in the country and let him watch and see. I will go around from country to country, create awareness for the protests, and that protest could kill Joseph Boakai. It will be of no doubt if the protest carry him, because he's just not embarrassment to the country. All the paths around acting like he's sleeping, dictator, corrupt, irresponsible. No, people don't have answer recovery team, yeah? Don't waste your time behind the people. We will jump in Apollo to sue the people for everything they have done, the embarrassment. Her reputation is at stake. Is that how you harass people in the broad daylight? Look at what they want. Who is that meant to be recovering asset? Is it somebody reliable? Somebody that got hit? We got interest in the country. You should take your own time to recover asset. But you look at him, he's selling yellow way by a crazy man, look like a hungry man, passing around, jumping up and down, he being like police officer. No, people try it. We will challenge them in the street, in any kind of way we'll do it as opposition to challenge them. Let me say thank you for the audience that will find time to come on your show so we could discuss. Thank you so much.
Kev, go ahead.
You see, I told you guys the last time, I said the peace that we enjoy in the last 6 years, we would not enjoy that peace anymore. Because if you're going to go and start holding people taxi, maybe you will say, okay, they see government lesson plates.
Exactly.
You know, but taxi?
Taxi.
Are you going to taxi now? So if you don't like one minister and you see a taxi because somebody say that minister taxi there, true or false, you will take it down. You know, I'm worried. Ben, I told you this behind the scene. I say I'm worried.
You did.
I'm worried. You see, the same thing I told my guys in behind the scene. I said it on my another network. I said, this man would destroy the CPP. They say, oh, I said, listen to him. And I know what he doing at night. And I know who he talking to at night. I know who he contacting at night. I know that he was begging the prosecutor that he want to testify. I know that. People say, oh, they forced just say Imam Boakai to testify. No, he was begging to testify against Cummings because he never wanted Cummings. People say that the government, no, they were after the government. I said it behind the scene. I talk about this thing. I said, this man is dangerous. So when my guys had interview in Pennsylvania, he used a word called Brexit. I told the guys, I said, so that word, my guys said, oh, maybe when he come, you put the CPP together. It's a statement. I see you guys watch. He will further destroy it. And I'm saying the same thing today. He will bring chaos in Liberia. He will bring serious problem because you're putting people on the streets. And you know the thing I told Ben about a few hours before coming on the show, I say, the Papi believe that God sent him to do this.
That's what people are saying. That is a fact. That's what people are saying.
He believed that God sent him. You know, a couple of years back, this thing happened in Texas. This guy believed that he would put people in the house and put fire on them, they all would die, they go to heaven. You got to be careful with people think that way. He feel that God sent him to do that. So he will wake up in the morning, he just sleep. People around, if you listen to Amara Kone, you listen to some people, they're saying something that people not getting. Listen to Amara Kone today on OKFM. He's saying something. People are saying something. Can you put it back?
Put it down. Let him finish first.
Put it down, please.
Put it down. Uh-huh.
You know, they're saying something. Folks around saying something. He built a wall around him. That wall that he built around him, that he just there. because he feel that even though you helped me to come to power, not you, that God say I should be there. And when you're dealing with fanatic like that, it's a serious issue. And I'm saying this again. You wake up one morning. You will wake up one morning, it's a problem. Because he wake up and say, God sent him, he should order the NSA. Do you know what it take Madam Ellen to take some of those boys to calm them down? With 14-year-old, you don't know where they're sitting quietly, they're receiving their hand to mouth, feeding their family, they're not in politics. You want to go unmask those people? Do you know what will happen in that country? People joking with this thing. What JMB is doing, this country will wake up one morning, he live his life. We'll wake up one morning and we'll go back to the dark days because he believed that God sent him to do that. I rest now, guys. But
Thank you.
be very careful.
Before I bring Gracie, let me just I just want to read this in quickly. This coming from, I'm happy the lawmakers are taking.
Let's put it from Chairman Billiter, right?
Put on Chairman Billiter.
Mm-hmm.
And this one of the lawmakers who people, I mean, since he's trying to talk about, he's been making a lot of headlines.
Yeah. Do you want me to read it, or you read it?
I read it from Chairman Representative.
It says, "Do not." This is from the Chairman on National Security in the House, Chairman Musa Ability. Don't rush with asset recovery. First, establish the lost assets and publish it. Ask those in possession to return it or face prosecution, and begin to search for specific assets of government that are lost. Stop this nonsense of stopping peaceful citizens and asking them to establish their ownership for their vehicles. The government must first establish the assets lost before it can start to search for them. Come on, fellas. You came with experience. Use it. Stop making a mockery of a well-intended process. And to those with government assets, please return it. It's not yours. Shameless bunch. What a vicious cycle of mess after mess. Very powerful statement.
Very powerful.
Very powerful statement.
Chairman of National Security.
Very powerful.
Well said.
The last statement makes our argument, repeat our argument. Mess after mess. Yeah. CDC up, Unity Party after Unity Party, and CDC up. It makes a statement. Mess after mess. The two political parties are mess.
But Caleb, we cannot change the subject now.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, but Caleb, let it go by the. Let go by the.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I thought.
Yeah. Then we can come to you.
Yeah, sitting down here, and that's the reason why I will always be the outsider of your closing argument. It's just sad, Representative Koluba called and he talked for almost 15 minutes. He said he's going to be on the ballot. So I just want to tell you, don't have the temperament to be president of Liberia. So erase that part. We love you and everything. You want to remove yourself from that place because you the same person I kept on telling you when you came here, told the people to vote for Joseph Boakai. Last minute to time you saw what you were still pushing, and you said that what the people wanted. So how you made that decision? I'm not here to be against anybody, but we're just here to say the truth. You're fully Liberian people, and this is what we have. Joseph Boakai, the president, I stand with him with asset recovery. It's just that the process and the measures, as Representative Bidete is saying, they're not doing it the rightful way they're supposed to do it. Because you have to have the process, you have to have the measures in place, you have to investigate the matter. All those with assets and you going into the system, investigating the people, how they accumulated these assets for themselves and everything. Before then, you go to the court, something negotiation. You can go and call the same people and negotiate with them. We know you have this, that. We have how they got the other one called assets tracing. We have trace. To see that you got this. My father-in-law used to work with one company called SRC. My husband told me, some time ago, and he was able to buy a car through the company, because of your financial. What they do is that, let me just say in a common way, when you work with a company, Every month, if you want this car that is assigned to you, they will deduct it from your paycheck monthly. They will deduct it from your paycheck until you finish paying for the car, then the car is yours. So you will pay some, the company will pay some until you finish paying, the car is yours. So the people do these things because they want to trace their assets when everything is said and done. When you own that car, they can go to the financial record and say, oh, you know, the person took their money, they pay for the car this way, and the person got this thing this way. But we all know yet, by then stopping people in the street is not the rightful thing. But we do not know whether they did the investigation and they have the information to arrest those people. So we just talking here. We don't know whether these people have already did an investigation, although it's been just 60 days and change. You don't know whether they have tangible information to do what they're doing, because I personally feel with the experience that Joseph Boakai government said they came in with, they were not stupidly stand on the road and just start stopping people if they have no documents and anything in place to show that they have it. But before you even stop those people, did you give them the opportunity to go to their homes and try to get that negotiate with them to return the assets to the government? And they said no before you arrest them in the street. And that's the question. We will not know here. Then when it comes to people like Fina Bono, I know people say, oh yeah, they've been working, they've been making money. Yeah, they're making money, they were working. Everybody know they pay how much they got paid monthly. Now the access she acquired, is it up to the pay that she got in 6 years? That's another question. They could do that investigation. But when the president not hiring the right people to put in place that have the idea to be able to help in the process, that's what they will have the problem. Because now the people don't know what they're doing. Maybe they just getting on that road. We don't know. But you have the right people that you are hiring and put in place that went to school and got experience to do this thing. You will not have all the noise behind you. So we can't justify anything concerning Fina Bono cars being arrested or Texas and stuff, because we don't know the documents these people have. We don't know where they're coming from with their stuff. They need to be more upfront to the public. But in the meanwhile, they see woman, when you think about the whole thing with all of them, with it maybe early death, although it has nothing to do with it, then you start to, because so many things happen in that last government, it just like it be wider to some of us. And now these are the same people want to complain about stuff that they actually did before, and even did worse, that people's lives were taking it on. So, you know, and that's why some of just bouncing with like the UP government, or we look at it, we say that fly. Then we come to the CDC, we look at it and say, you know, the thing looking shiny, but still, hey man, the way that people can even do things, you don't know whether you want to associate yourself with that part. So it's just like that's how you just stay in the middle and you just weigh yourself. That's the reason why we said there is no two-party system with being Liberia, because they're two-party that are popular. They are not the people to lead Liberia to the next, the new generation or Liberians that will be able to actually develop that country in a way our country is supposed to be developed. So we just looking down. I think you should do your due diligence to contact these people who doing the asset recovery, the team and everything. How are they carrying on it? Because this is a media platform. So y'all can know, but we can't just sit down here and continue to just say, oh, the people are doing that, we bring problems in Liberia. We threaten the government, we threaten the country, we threaten our president. Although they're proceeding wrong, but we want to know why are they proceeding wrong, and if they have any rights or they have any documentation, they did asset tracing, they did asset investigation, they did asset negotiation before they reach to that stage of what they're doing. And that's what I want to know personally. Thank you.
Okay, before I bring Kelabo in, let me say this. You know, when it comes to this issue, Grace, on a serious note, with the asset recovery stuff, first of all, it's no rocket science. The people that was named on the asset recovery, there are people who, in fact, just last night, there's we'll talk about it later on, but I think, President, we have received some material address at Harvard. A member of the Harvard of the asset recovery attacking him on that invitation he received. So tell me, they already have preconceived mindset. So when they have this kind of pre-mindset, it's like telling me, how you tell me to go to come and come after me to retrieve stuff from me when you already have an informed mindset about me. That was what happening. Now that you said about the issue about the texting, how sure are we that
to work remotely?
So far, please, yeah. How sure are they that they found out from the lady whether she took a loan from the bank or whatever the case to get this thing. But yeah, come on, you say, oh, that government car, that's not a place. They say that government car, you in Parliament.
Yeah, but you that investigation part, the whole thing. That's why we say we don't know what.
But Grace.
That's why I say they need to do the investigation part to be able to do that.
Public Grace. As I said, the asset recovery thing, I support 100%. We all support it. But The composition of the members of that team are the problem. And by right, look at the act that created LACC. They should be doing that job. But then in the budget, they put 1.5 million in the budget for the asset recovery team. And I'm happy lawmakers are speaking up. Because I'm telling you now that lawmakers are already.
But this action alone makes the lawmaker to want defund it. To defund it.
Get 1 cent. You see, but Kenabo can weigh in.
What hear what I was saying. Sorry. Hear what I was saying.
Before Kenabo come in, Lofa, are you driving?
Kev, you see me driving? No, somebody driving me.
No. If you're driving, then you gotta park. You can't drive and talk. You gotta park, Lofa.
Wow. Are you policeman now?
No. There's a rule on the show.
No, Kev. You know he's right though. Kev like me. Yeah, I'm out of join CDC.
Well, all of us like you. We need to live.
Yeah, Lofa, we'll bring you on when you park.
Lofa, park the car and talk, man. Stop.
All right, so yeah, what I was saying, guys. You know, I listened to Imada Gwonkwe. I just laugh. It's like he doesn't even know what he was talking about.
That's my point.
I just laugh. You know, I mean, the action of the asset recovery underscores the importance of experience.
Thank you.
It underscores the importance of experience.
These
guys don't even.
Who is Imada Gwonkwe?
The Martin claims to have wealth of experience. But this action shows it doesn't have. Ellis Covey claims to have wealth of experience in government. This action shows they don't have. For me, the action of the asset recovery team today underscores the need to disband them immediately. They should disband them because they are going to cause chaos in the society. Your first responsibility is to go after government asset to secure it first. When you start going after a private individual, I mean, I'm not a lawyer. Clark Martin says he's a lawyer, and he's a lawyer. He's a counselor of law. But our constitution is based on individual rights, not group rights. The constitution says every individual has a right. That's what our constitution says. Is protecting individual rights, not group rights. So you start going after Kelabo Gongo property, you don't have that authority. My right under the constitution is protected. I can only be expropriated from an asset through a court action, not an action by executive committee of any kind. Bwaka is not a constitution. The executive is not a constitution. You can't say you derive your authority from the president. No. Go to court, obtain legitimate, appropriate instrument, and take me to court. You can't say, oh, the car is flying the street of our document. That's why Imaya Gwonkwe say. So is he policeman now? So it means what it shows is that Waka should disband this group because this group is going to add to the growing.
They got extra judicial powers
already. Because as it stands, we don't even know who is in the mansion now. Every day they nominate somebody, they withdraw. Elder Privacy, two person carry green letters. One was going to the Senate for confirmation, and the other one was going to Elder Privacy to say, I'm taking over. That's chaos. On top of that chaos, then you have Imaya Gwonkwe say, they cannot get a document.
They got to go to CRC?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
So, they cannot get a document. That part there.
And we got intelligence.
Do they? Yeah. You know what I saw today? All the anti-recovery military.
And your man?
Who that?
Your man, the one I used to be at security the Bwaka.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, military stuff.
Yeah, but you know, and people are coming
in. They're not CDC there to money money.
Yeah, but they were wrong, Grace. So that's what I'm saying.
Then I want to date to
Unfortunately, this is what we are dealing with. So my issue for me, and I'm sorry, I think you finished. Sorry, I didn't finish. Go ahead, finish.
Peabody intruder.
Finish. Let me not call you.
So I'm going to end on this.
Sorry, Campbell. Sorry.
No, that's fine. So if you look at all of this stuff, I'm calling on President Bwaka in the wake of the confusion in the country, because there is no clear leadership message in the country now. I think it's good for the president to disband this asset recovery. They are agent of chaos. They possess every element of calamity that could befall Liberia tomorrow morning. If you keep them in place.
Wow.
Get rid of them. Get rid of them and give the power to AICC, give the power on asset or government vehicle and other properties to GSC, assisted by the Minister of Justice through the police to do the work. Get rid of these guys. They don't know. I know. I understand you want to reward your partisans because they supported you. You got power. Go establish some kind of agency. Give them. You can call them. You can even say, assistant minister of presidential affairs without portfolio, without portfolio for asset or without portfolio for internal affairs. I mean, give them all kind of title, and because you just want to give them salary. That's what you should do, because the action today, it makes the argument strong that this asset recovery is intended to witch hunt. This was clear, a classic definition of witch hunt. That you just go and say we got intelligent. Oh, they all car belong to Finabondo. A car that you say no diagonal, how you know you establish a link to Finabondo?
Exactly.
That is a classic definition of witch hunt.
But it's
I don't know
Peabody.
Finabondo. I've not seen Finabondo in my lifetime. But to say in my own words, the car does not have document. But then he said that
He said for
Finabondo car.
Finabondo.
What kind of logic is that? If my student write that, I will give you F.
but let me say this, Well, thank you. Let me say this on this, okay? And I know my sister Grace is very frustrated with the two parties because we might just excommunicate CDC and United Party for Liberia, right? But let me say this: it is a joke. It is a total joke. I mean, Kev, thank you for playing that video because I did not watch that video. And some of the people that I saw, Tomalin, another lot of people, they say, I saw a woman with a badge on his chest. Say he recovering asset. Eh? Look,
you're looking like a ranger on the war front.
We got to get serious, man. We got to get serious. And I would say this. When you listening to Emmanuel Conquet, we got intelligence. You think that EFFL thing we're doing? You can't do that. You cannot do that. It is not allowed. And so, what I think needs to happen, like you said, Caleb, I agree with you. I don't want to sound repetitive here. I think this is enough grounds. If the president can dissolve this, I think let the legislature defund them. Don't give them no money from the budget. Let the president take money from his budget and give it to them and he stays serious. I mean, this is a waste of time. Why will you do this? Great intention to recover assets, government assets. Great intention. Like Musa said, do it the right way. There is a standard operating procedure to do these things. If you know it, there's something called Google now. There's something called artificial intelligence. You can even do AI now. It can tell you, say, give me standard operating procedure on how to collect assets.
And we gave it to you.
It just, I don't understand how you claim to have all this experience and you are making all these rookie mistakes. How do you do that? Going after people's personal property, right? It's wrong. Today, our thing now. President, we have to be careful before they stop him in the middle of the street and take him down from his car.
I mean, you know why they're doing that?
People do that in the red way.
Like I said earlier, guys, and Grace, let me just say this. I remember in 2018 when the same thing was happening, and I brought up Clarence. But guess what, though? So, President, we ask credit. The moment that thing happened, in fact, ask Clarence Money by, he'll tell you. The moment it happened, President, we have stopped it. they immediately stepped in and they cut it off and said, you know what? This is not, in fact, GSA was now empowered to say, you know what? Go in the look at the log. Let's look at, and they realized that it was an effort. It was a waste of resources. In fact, because some of the assets that they were trying to even recover were worthless. To be quite honest with you, right? So I think they need to they need to get serious. The president needs to lead, man. He needs to lead.
Like somebody said, look, somebody said, I mean, I think you do the right way. Well, all government assets, put it down, and then you do the inventory and see what's missing. But instead,
GSA responsibility.
Yeah, but instead the way they're doing it, but
I saw the GSA director general there.
Yeah, you know why the GSA men went there? Because they have the information. So you don't need this asset. They use competent asset recovery team. But I'll tell you this, or 1 minute, or 10 seconds here. You know the reason, Ben, the reason why the guys start doing that thing? Because they requested for 1.9 million. These are a bunch of folks with no integrity. Or you got Ellis Coffey that have all the trails of corruption on him. You got Clyde Martin that you asking a lawyer and a reputable lawyer in Liberia to tell you, I will not even trust Clyde Martin with my kitchen case. I mean, to even in a case, I will not do that. If I'm going against a wealthy or client, I will not do it because you go on the other side and do something. Because they're trying to get the $1.9 million so they can start dancing in it. That's
so
what
they're working.
So exactly. We are working. We need the money. That is the essence. This is the essence of doing what they're doing.
Okay, but 2 seconds.
Is comprised of a bunch of crooks.
Thank you. Civilized world that we want Liberia to be. For you to do asset recovery, we reiterate. You have to do asset tracing, then you do investigation. You call the people, you negotiate with them. You got so car, you're not supposed to have, then you won't buy the car, or we should take it from you. Okay, I will pay for the car, the person pay for it. Yeah, easy as that. It's not nice.
You stay on the middle of the street, you just passing around, you see car, you take it. Oh, I get intelligence.
What they said, I come in Lofa, they said, you see how we dress now? They're wearing that stuff.
Can you imagine the joke?
Justified.
Joke.
Let's look at that to approve the $1.9 million. That's what I want to do.
You see, so guys, I had to stop and chime in on this part of the conversation, and I'm glad that Grace actually came back. She kind of rolled back on her statement, and especially when she had to address that issue. The reason why people look for competent people in certain positions is because they expect better. Okay, Finda, whether she stole or not, we can only use the law to go after her. We cannot take a bunch of hooligans and put them after a woman because she worked in government. Today's action on the part of those guys in the streets was a mere gangster idea, and that is not what we want for Liberia. Okay, CDC did it. We frowned at it. We called them out. And these self-proclaimed professional with experience who's supposed to now try to at least lift up the bar. You come and repeat and you don't worse than what CDC even did. Then how in the world can you? Let me jump to this and I'll get off here. I want to ask a question. With this whole asset recovery team, do they have remote position for the asset recovery team? Because Martin Colley, who's supposed to be a man of integrity, is saying himself somewhere in Europe.
He the researcher.
Okay, so he says in look, Ben, Liberia is not a joke, man. I think
Anyway, let me start.
I'm telling you, that black country.
No, you said and like Calibo rightfully said, Honorable Boycott needed a reason to reward these young men for yapping their mouth and fingers on Facebook. So he created something and just said, here's an opportunity for you. You see the reason why often we speak to practicality. You can have the theory, but when it's not backed with some level of practicality, you remain almost like a vacuum. You see what happened to this is a man who called himself what EFFL, the leader. He was in the street today, behaving more like a rebel, because you have no authority to arrest anybody, all right, and confiscate their property. But here you are acting like the real rebels in the streets, but you'll go and say and call yourself you're the EFFL CIC. Is this what Julius Malema and other people were doing in South Africa? Is that what they were doing in South Africa? For real? Is this really what they were doing?
Anything that comes from Liberia is watered down.
You understand? Is this the kind of behavior we would really teach? What lesson are we? No, Ben, on a very serious note, what sort of lesson are we teaching the young people of Liberia? What are we telling them? What are we telling these young people? And he's running, and he's literally standing out there with Walmart jacket on, talking about he got a security jacket and arresting people to take their cars. You know, Ben, to be honest with you, had I been in Liberia and worked in government, I dare any one of those guys to come in front of my car. I would have been in jail, because I would not have stopped, and I would literally just run whoever, because that's mass stupidity. They shouldn't have done that in the first place. Nobody even recognize you. Bunch of guys just hungry for money. You go and arresting and embarrassing other people. Am I in support of people stealing? No.
No.
If they have government property, return the property. Okay? But like you all rightfully said, go to the process. There's due process for everything. This is a government. This is not a backyard militant group, or this is not UL militant group where you guys just get up one day, jump in the street and put your hands up. Then you say we have been in the vanguard. We have what it. No, that's not what it is. We're talking about governance here. The lives of people, okay, property. They're here to protect lives and property. And you grab these young people and just throw them in the street. Some of them are thieves, and you all know these things. You know what? I needed to say this, and hopefully I get home in time for me to jump back on the show. But a great show thus far, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Don't let us seize the opportunities, because I think they say,
you still drink Blue Moon, right?
Do I still drink Blue Moon?
Yeah.
You go get said I cash app it. Cash app it.
Yeah. No, I just want to
guys, like
the minute in Raleigh, they got chopper right for their hole. That count.
Yeah, but you see, let me say something. When the president, when there's a campaign, and the the presidential candidate don't go for debate to tell the people what they can.
There you go. Good point.
And they have to have all these people to be on propaganda on social media and in the country for them. Then when they win the election, then they owe these people. And that's why then they have to put them in all kind of places now to satisfy them, or send some money back to America and just put more money in their pocket. Like we hear how they send some people back. They go back to their family. I'm not calling it neon issue. I just saying they go back to their family, they get them small dollar, they put in their pocket. then you owe the people. But if you're able to sell your stuff to the Liberian people,
stop it. Don't encourage.
This is what I can do. This is my vision. This is my plan. This is what we do for Liberia in the first 90 days or 60 days or 100 days. Then when the people listen to all the debate and they choose their person, they will not be going through all the things. But when the people, the other side people, they have to sell you, that way your government will suffer. And that's what happened. And when your government suffer, Liberian people suffer with it. And that's just it. And Liberian people now, you need to open your eyeball. Just open your eyeball and you see the lights. Because 2029, that one part of 2029, you know, 2029 will be how many years old? It's to be added to your age, eh?
5.
You know, the only thing I can enjoy
65.
You see, Tomalin will be 65, 2029. You
will be 65?
Wow.
Tommy, you love me.
You lie ahead. You lie.
You're not be 65. That's true.
No, but guys, on a serious note, right? Look, what everybody's saying is true, though. Look, the whole thing of asset business is a joke, and we gotta talk about it. But I think we have done on it a lot, and we pray. The only thing we can say is that we call on the Senate and the House of Representatives. I'm happy that Representative Musa Abedete has spoken on it, and other people are talking about it. That so when the budget gets before them, the president already called them back to the legislature. April 1st, they'll be there for the next 30 days. From April 1st, we are saying don't give 1 cent to this as a recovery group. All Boga will tell them, say, look, you see, I get the job, the president didn't give you money. So I can't control the people.
I mean,
So,
imagine Gonko and
$5 million.
I tell you, I really got respect for the Ghana.
Yeah. Imagine Gonko and with $1.5 million. Gonko and will go back. They'll
that money a big man.
And gone.
But guys, let's jump on Chris Smith.
But I don't know how he got a house that he was selling around Fee Highway. You remember when I asked him that question? And yeah, he got a house around Fee Highway. He was selling 50,000. Never worked. I don't know what.
Somebody got the Chris Smith statement. Ben, you can read it for us.
Let me see. I haven't.
Yeah, that's the important thing. Why Ben looking for the statement? Let me say this about the Chris Smith funny. Look, immediately when I saw that statement this morning, I contacted his office right away. And I really want them to throw more light on this because they are serious about it. And apparently, there are some of our officials, we call their names, some people who are bent on stalling this process. Okay, I heard Albert Chia, the former pro temp, he's one of those who oppose this stuff. And then I heard Commander Wizard too. He had a press conference on this too to push back on this. And I'm hearing also that there are people from the former administration. I heard that they are already going back to Liberia, gearing up to come together to fight against the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Code. And I think I think it's wrong. And I'm happy the U.S. government reminding President Boyka. Ben, please read it for us, please.
So quickly, U.S. Congressman Smith, chair for the House and Subcommittee on Global Health, Global Human Rights, and International Organization today issued the following statement regarding the need for the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia to help redress the wounds of the country's civil wars. In recent decades, Liberia's people have suffered untold human rights violations and economic crimes, while perpetrators acted with near complete impunity during the country's multiple civil wars. Since that time, minimal efforts have been made in Liberia to address these crimes, notwithstanding a recommendation in 2009 by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission to establish a court to ensure justice. As a presidential candidate, Joseph Boakai stated repeatedly that a War and Economic Crimes Court needed to establish for the Liberian people to end impunity and for the nation to heal. In his inaugural address, President Boakai then committed to pursue the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court to provide an opportunity for those who bear the greatest responsibility for war crimes or crimes against humanity to account for their actions in court. Since President Boakai assumed office, the local and international communities, including the United States, have eagerly awaited the establishment of this court. This promise was made to the Liberian people who want real change. They desire democracy, human rights, and justice. The United States Congress is also closely monitoring the establishment of this court as a way to advance good governance and healing for the people of Liberia. We have long supported Liberia with foreign aid, providing over $162 million in 2003 and more than $4 billion
in 2023.
2023, thank you. In 2023, and more than $4 billion over the last 20 years.
Look,
there must be justice and accountability for the people of Liberia. Establishing the promised War Crimes and Economic Crimes Court is a necessary, critical step for ensuring lasting peace and the people's confidence in the rule of law and the fair administration of justice in their country. And
look, that's a powerful statement. And this man, look, honestly, I think that President Boakai hands are tied right now because they didn't stop there. They sent their ambassador to Liberia and met with him, met with the lawmakers, and he assured the people that the people were prepared to fund this court. And since then, they've been doing a snail walk. They got the Senate, and I want to try to kill this in the Senate. And so our known senators and in the Senate, they are honor this thing, trying to undermine it. But I can tell you, some of them will be the first thing they will do to them. They will start giving them visa to come to this country. Then they will find out why they get them visa. But this code must be established. The U.S. government is fully committed to it. And I think just today, we got on the show, the French court gave Conti Camara 30 years. So it appears that only a foreign country will do our work for us. And people will go away impunity. But guys, weigh on it, Ben. You can start weighing on it, and then we'll move on it.
Powerful statement by Chris Smith. I don't think anybody should take this for a joke. Chris Smith is not a joke. He's been persistent. He had his foot on the gas on this issue. And listen, I think the president has a choice to make here. He clearly has a choice to make. Look, I tell people all the time, being a student of politics, having attended school in this country and following how U.S. foreign policy work and how U.S. foreign policy make us speak. They speak sometimes in nuances. They say things that you probably, and I always tell people, I say, when you read a statement from either the White House, the State Department, or somebody in Congress, listen to what they didn't put in that statement, or listen to what they didn't say directly in that statement. When you hear a ranking member of the Foreign Relations Committee, also an Africa subcommittee, highlighting how much aid the country has received over the last 20 years, highlighting how much aid the country received in 2023 alone, is a subtle threat to say, if you don't do this, we're going to cut off this aid. They didn't have to. He doesn't have to say that. The reason he doesn't have to say that is that he doesn't control the foreign policy. The president does. But guess what? There are tools and mechanisms that he has at his disposal to make sure that the president, the administration do what they want them to do. And for a country like Liberia, which have no real significance when it comes to U.S. foreign policy, Liberia is not like Israel. Liberia is not like any of these countries where, in fact, Liberia is one of those countries where we're like a child to America, right? So it's almost like they literally say what they have to say to us. Whether we like it or not, that is the reality that we are dealing with here. When the president of the Republic of Liberia meets with the U.S. ambassador for global crimes and promise her, and she goes to the executive mansion, he shakes her hand, and he gave us his word. She didn't want to stop there. She was definitive in her interview on OKFM. She said, we know that there is an executive order. We are eagerly waiting for that executive order to be signed and to be made public. When you see videos of the president sitting with Alan White, and the first reaction that comes from the executive mansion through the press secretary is that the video is fake, and then they come back again, and Alan White said, no, the video is not fake. I'm telling you, I don't think President Buckeye wants to play this game with the Americans. He needs to take cue from his former boss. When the Taylor issue was brought to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, it was probably one of the most difficult decisions Ellen made earlier on in her presidency. But she was read the Riot Act. You either do this or these are the consequences. And as a result of that, she had to pull the trigger and make the decision when she made a decision on Taylor. Whether Joe Boyka like this or not, I think from my reading of this statement, guys, this has become a cornerstone of U.S. foreign policy towards Liberia. And if we don't comply with this, we will have ourselves to blame. This administration will have itself to blame because there will be consequences for inaction. And members of the legislature must take cue from this also. Those of you who, if they identify that is in the Senate, this is directly to pro tem Yombi Kanga Lawrence, is directly to Foreign Affairs Committee Chair Darius Dillon, is directly to Judiciary Chair. I don't know who the Judiciary Chair guy is to be, and Vani Sherman. I don't know who's there now. But these several committees directly to these people, you are on the radar. Do not take it for granted. You have relationships in the U.S. You have assets in the U.S. You have strong connections in the U.S. The last thing you want is to get on America's bad side. If I were you, I will advise the president, let's get this thing done and let's call it a day. The more you wait, the more deeper the hole you dig for yourself.
Before I ask Grace to weigh in on this too, let me say this, just to piggyback on what Ben said. And mind you, President Sirleaf, I think the MPP endorsed her at the time. They endorsed her, and they gave her support.
Well, so, I can even get you that story. In fact, the basis on which Joel Taylor endorsed Ellen was because Ellen had promised Joel Taylor that she was not going to take Taylor over because
Yes.
that was the request from the MPP's base.
Yes.
But you saw exactly what ended up happening.
Yes. And you
So-
see, President Obasanjo at the time has said that I would not give theater up to anybody except a Liberian government asked for him. So when they made a request to President Salif, she had no choice. So Baka should not feel that somebody endorsed him or somebody supported him for the presidency. So he will be there to hide them, to shoulder them.
Yeah, but
hide them. So
Tomalin,
so I hope they are monitoring it. It's a serious thing, and these people are not joking. And I know the new ambassador destined to Liberia is coming to Liberia soon. Ambassador Turner, Christopher Turner will be coming to Liberia soon, presenting a letter of credence to President Bouaka. And I can imagine when he's doing that presentation, what he'll be telling Bouaka. Grace, you can come in on this too.
Yeah, coming. Look, you know what? When they as Ben said, when the American people writing you email, all working here, we know when they write email, they're setting him in that email when you see because of this, you know, they will tell you because this will be, they will not tell you this will be done, but they will say because of this, then they lead you to end it for them. These people say they gave like $4 billion in the last 20 years. That's not small money. And 163 million just in 2023. Joseph Bouaka, Pape, let me just be the real Liberian English to you. They put not force you in your inaugural speech. Pape, you promised the people you committed to the thing in your inaugural speech. For the War and Economic Crimes Code, the people are willing, international community willing to support that code to the fullest. Once you have the political will to do this, now you have to put your will, forthcoming for it to happen. And for those people in that Senate where I see that the House, for the 2 people out of 73 people, I was surprised that although they passed it, but only for the 2 people, we thought all of y'all were even going to just, even they're going to say 65 people say, okay, at least. Only for the 2, okay, it passed it, the Senate. You don't want to play with that. Some of y'all can be flying on, fly everywhere. Y'all can come to like, bro, America more than 5 times a year. We don't even know where you're getting that kind of money from. But you're flying up and down, flying up, and your family member flying up and down. They're ready to just put your aside because that Tomalin said it. In fact, they will find a way to sanction some of you because they already see everything you're doing and like small they honor, you know, or money you're getting, kickbacks and things for different things, all these jobs. You think the people don't see transaction going on, they see all those things. So you have to be very careful. The War and Economic Crimes Code is needed in Liberia. If Ellie Johnson could get Chancellor up, I see who can get who. Oh yeah, Ellie Johnson and Chancellor, they came a long way. That woman had no choice to say this thing just have to happen. Chancellor had to walk out of there with his handcuffs on his hand, and you know, acting very serious. Like always let up so acting very serious. Like you know, like in a sophisticated way. He left because he needed that peace for Liberia. Prince Johnson, he just yelling in the background here, fighting with chaos. Because he don't care about the Liberian people when he now lied to the Nibalians. Oh, you know, we the one I saved Nibali. What you were doing in Kawa when you came for I thought like Nibalians and you were saving? You were not saving Nibalians at that point in time. You still on the Bushra Island for so long. So many people die on your watch. Go to the court and put your case for. Tell the person this is what, but you can't stop work in Economic Crimes Code from coming to our country. Our people need closure. Some of us need closure. We need that closure to come to Liberia for Liberia to move forward. The War and Economic Crimes Code is important for Liberia at this particular time. Joseph Bouaka put a hand to the plow, and we will keep a hand to that plow until that War and Economic Crimes Code is established.
Thank you. Let me announce. Thank you, Emmanuel Bro. The chairman on the Senate is Councilor Augustine Chia.
Augustine Chia, okay.
Okay. Also, let me just announce too, for the first time, the chairman of the former ruling unit CDC will be on our show on Monday. I repeat, for the first time, the former ruling party chairman, Honorable
maybe Kelabo will announce a membership that
Janga Ekowo will be our guest on Monday. The acting chairman of the former ruling party. Now the new opposition party in the country, Janga Ekowo, will be our guest on Monday. And the director of police or the inspector general of police confirmed today, finally, that he'll make his appearance on the closing argument on Friday. Colonel Gregory Kuma will be our guest on Friday, this Friday. He has finally confirmed that he will be our guest on Friday. So we have Friday and then Monday we'll look for the CDC chairman. So, Galabo, weigh in. Oh, Ben, you want to say something? I forgot. Ben, want to say something?
No, I was just going to say, you can tell that Grace let child stealer. So actually, when she was talking about child stealer, she just started smiling and calling him silly lies, and you can tell straight that she. I mean, you can tell.
Contest election in Liberia and win though.
Eh?
Taylor can still contest like
of
election
course.
in Liberia.
What thing have been happening in the last 18 years?
Forget about that.
I know, right?
No. Liberia is a strange country.
But he contesting, I don't know about that, but just that, you know, I mean, the man has swag, you know.
Look at what Grace talking about.
Sorry. Kelabo, you know, Chantel, right? When you were president, when you had a gay press conference, right? What he would do, he would talk about something that he had no business. He would talk about what happened in the Palestine in Gaza. He would say Liberia is concerned about what happened in the Middle East.
Do you know the reason? Taylor was researching himself as a world leader.
Yes.
He was saying, all nations are equal. No small nation, no big nation in the diplomatic sense. So you were researching himself. I used to watch you on that. You were researching hello. You are part of the Committee of Nations. So I will speak on this matter.
And then before he got it, when he will speak, and I like to tell the Liberian people,
Liberia has burned herself in the action of self-destruction, but she shall our
comment will be based on two issues. One, the alleged involvement of Abochie and other senators to undermine the passage of the War and Economic Crimes resolution. I've spoken to a number of senators, particularly senators are from CDC. What I've gathered so far is that the plan they have is they intend to split the resolution into two. To have, because the House just gave one big resolution to establish War and Economic Crimes Code. They intend to say consent to establish a consent resolution to establish Economic Crimes Code, which will have perpetual existence. And then have one resolution will say consent to establish War Crime Code, which will have a limiting time, like maybe 5 years or 10 years. Okay. So which I think is a good plan. After that, then they intend to go to the House conference now to resolve the differences. Not much difference, just that it will be two different resolutions. They are, you know, according to some of them, they believe they have the bill, the vote to pass that. But the involvement of Abochie, Yomli Kanga, Darius DeLong, along with Jeremiah Kuhn to undermine this so that it can die in the Senate is concerning. And I think this is where Liberians need to stand up. I think that there's one moment where we need to have, I would say, quote unquote, good Liberians come together to begin to put these people out on social media. The Americans do follow social media. They do read popular platforms like Henry Costa Show, DeLon Center. They do read. We need to begin to put these people, Yomli Nin, DeLon Nin there, Abochie, because these are the names that keep coming up. Liberia will act on Romans much more, you know. So we need to begin to do that. I don't take the argument, the excuses the executive machine is giving that they don't have anything to do with Nantikova, they have no plan. But the rumor of plan to remove Nantikova because of the 5G passage of the War and Economic Crime resolution it can't go away. So there's something there that they're trying to do. But we'll leave that for now. On this letter, this statement from Chris Smith of his bank, as you read that, I picked a few things from there. And I just want to premise my comments, my concluding comments on that. One, you know, he reminded President Bouaka of his campaign promise and his inaugural speech. Great. But there are two key areas three areas that I think is very emphatic and troubling. And I think the guy was more direct. Here in this line, he said this promise was made to the Liberian people who want real change, the desired democracy, human rights, and justice. You know, one will ask, If the promise was made to Liberia, why is an American congressman concerned? They are concerned because insecurity globally threatens American security interests. In fact, one of the things that they had against Charles Taylor was not so much of the war in Sierra Leone, but it was because of the allegation that Al-Qaeda people were trading diamond in Liberia, getting resources to fund their activities, to finance their activities around the world. That, in fact, one bad news was in our CIA report or that leaked out. That was the trigger point, that if you're going to have people in Liberia that are going to be funding Al-Qaeda that is bent on destroying the United States, then you have crossed the rail line. That was, in my mind, the tripping point for Taylor on this. So here, insecurity in Liberia is a concern to the United States. That's why this statement is very emphatic and very clear. He's reminding on the promise. And the second issue here, the U.S. Congress also said, U.S. Congress is closely monitoring the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Code. Here is very clear. If you say to your child, I'm standing here, I'm watching you to wear your clothes, you are actually telling the child wear that clothes. This is what the statement is saying. He said, we close there monitoring this. They are monitoring Bouaga. He said, we're monitoring the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Code. They are telling, we're watching you establish a code now. This is what the statement is saying. They are not giving you an option when you tell your child, go take bath, I'm watching you, I'm standing there, go take bath, take out your clothes. You are monitoring your child to comply with your instruction. This is what the statement is saying here. Anybody can weigh in on this. This how I'm understanding it. In the concluding statement here, Chris may say, there must be justice and accountability. You didn't give an option. This is not giving the Bouaga administration an option. They are saying there must be. So if people don't read this, they will allow Abachie, because you can't get double sanction, because double sanction is totally useless. Abachie is already on sanction. He got bad record. LM Johnson said he fired him for corruption. All that thing. He's a wealthy man, far wealthy by any standard anywhere in the world, because of the looting of mineral resources in the country for decades. So he doesn't need to go anywhere. I know you want to travel, you go to Ghana and other countries, enjoy himself. But Yombly and DeLong, you're not on sanction yet. You won't follow somebody who is a sanction indictee. So you are second girl, Lepa. It doesn't make common sense. When Abachie can lobby here, just tell him, who won't be like you, will vote on this thing. Because first of all, Abachie was president pro tem. He buried this resolution in the Senate. So they need to act and act swiftly. It's almost 30 days. Send the House, send the thing. Almost 30 days. We are getting worried now. No. That will be my comment. So for me, I read this statement, I'm relieved. The guys don't have an option. They may yell here and there, but it will just undermine the governance process. If the United States is not supporting you, how much loan you think you get from the World Bank? How much loan you get from the African Development Bank? How much?
Okay. So, Lofa, chime in on this Christmas thing before we move on.
Before I chime in on this Christmas thing here, let me start off. First of all, I'm a parent, and I believe in giving. I believe in incentives, right? So I want to use this time after running behind American for so many days. He finally declared his asset. That's a good start. I would say congratulations and thanks for at least declaring, but hiding the rest of it. The only thing I expect of you is to publish it. But thus far, I would say congratulations to you. That's good. At least you were courageous enough to say, you declare your asset and you publish the cover page of it. So that's good. But we will still continue the process until you can publish it, and I'll be patiently following and waiting on you to publish
Want to make it a most
your asset.
But
Right? No, I mean,
I have a question for you. Joseph Waka publishes soon.
you know what? George Weah did not publish his asset. We took him out. Joseph Boyka came in. He promised not to do it. He promised to do it, but he didn't do it. And that's the reason why you start the process gradually and get at those who you can get to, because Americana should be at the very face of transparency. So why it is true that I had no belief in the ability of Honorable Joseph Boyka. I never trusted Honorable Joseph Boyka. All of his issue of transparency and man of integrity. Not one day did I believe it. And that's the reason why I said he and President George Weah, they're 5 and 6. Nothing different. And I mean, the statement is out there. So Amara Kone, who came as the difference maker, should serve as the difference maker, and so other people can follow through. And that's the reason why I hold Amara Kone and Darius Dillon the same way. But unfortunately, I mean, Dillon is just
I just asked that question because somebody was asking me why you behind him so much and you're not behind Joseph Parker. So I wanted you to explain. I understood it from you before, but I just wanted you to say that. So
that's a legitimate question that a lot of people have reached out to me personally and asked me, why aren't you going after Joseph Boyka, but you're going after Amara Kone? Because again, we must set. I had no trust. I had no belief in the ability of Joseph Boyka. So when Amara Kone came and said, I am going to hold a torch to serve as that guy, that transparent czar, we need to start holding people accountable. Joseph Boyka was iffy in his statement. I have written statement from Amara Kone when he made that claim. Okay, so going forward, as far as the War and Economic Crimes Court, I know a lot of people think it's a bluff. And let me just send a warning to Darius Dillon. If I have to visit Chris Smith's office with your name, I will do it. I've heard of so many bites that you have been a part of. Trust me, I can take a day off work and drive. If I have to go to Jersey or I have to go to DC, I will do it if I have to. People have literally calls. I have information. I'm not going to disclose anything, but I'm going to set this to you as a warning. You're involved in this whole bite, and you're stopping. You're doing everything, you and Madam Yombi Kanga, to stand against the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. Be careful. Be careful and stop playing with what could burn you. And it probably will burn you more than you can imagine. Stop grandstanding for the camera and going in the back and doing the wrong things. Stop it, because we know we will not be like the others to say we will not say your name. I'm saying your name out here publicly because I know you are. The same way you went against a young man called Abel when he was appointed because you wanted to show that you have control, a man who worked with you during your campaign. You kicked him off the list and brought someone else on because you wanted to show that you control Joseph Boyka's decision. We are informed and we have information on all of these things. When the young man was listed, who worked with you, even broke his legs, okay? You thought because he disagreed with you, so you needed to show him, and you came back being very vindictive. So you remove his name from the list as a retaliation. We have all this information. So I'm just telling you, you and Madam Yombi Kanga can back off. Back off or join the process, because if you don't, the same way we stood in the rain and sun to make sure that our voices were heard about the War and Economic Crimes Court, we will take time off work. We will go to places. We will place calls, and you definitely, it's not a threat. It's just a simple appeal. Do what is right, or else face the time. Thank you.
Okay, but you gotta go to the phone lines quickly. Yeah. You guys can answer you and take some calls quickly.
Are they ready?
Why they getting ready to come in for the calls? I want to just quickly.
The real assessing, right? You were saying?
Yeah, real assessing. Yeah. I don't know really. I know I've my dad, where my dad from. I heard that about 5 person got killed in some mudslide.
No, I think that it was it something about mining?
Tomalin,
Yeah.
what I saw, the pictures is so horrible. I don't want to see it, in fact. What I
Mhm.
saw is more than 5. The body that I seen lying there is so horrible. Yeah, I think it's a gold mining area. You know, I mean,
But there's a video to that thing. Maybe you could share play the video.
no, I would rather get off the show. I don't like to see
Yeah,
that.
and they may block us for.
Is it 15% down already? Oh,
Yeah, they're taking the body, they bring the bodies out. You know,
but
Yeah,
what
I
really
think,
happened?
I think
Who found that story? What really happened?
I mean,
I think it's a mining. It's a mining. It was a mining.
So
they
the
say
illegal mining they were doing what?
artisanal mining. You know,
Artisanal mining, yes, and the thing fell. They were going under the
But
ground.
for the people to go and mine, are there any?
Can you come on, Harry? I'll come on.
Well, have there been any word from the executive mansion on the issue? Because I hear nothing but you.
I was
No,
just about to ask the same
they were
question.
saying nothing. The people were saying nothing.
I was
Are you
just, you know,
kidding me?
and these are the same things
You
that we
know,
were cussing out President George Weah for. I remember when the people in Nima County had that entire ordeal and people died. Oh, the president don't say anything. He just keep quiet. He doesn't say anything. Like I said, I'm glad that my uncle is proving me right. President Boycott and President George Weah, they're 5 and 6. You know, that's all I can continue to
you know,
see.
yesterday when the Francis Scott Key Bridge got hit by the ship in Baltimore. President Biden was already. I mean, the guys already coming out.
You comparing Biden with Labiro?
Even the governor, everybody.
Why not?
They hit at 1 o'clock, by 3 o'clock. They were on the news. They were on the news until they broke. These people have nothing to say about anything. They're still fighting among themselves for jobs. And they keep on appointing people and withdrawing them until we know who to which ministry. It's just crazy.
Wow.
Well, we got the guys in studio.
Anyway, take the call.
077701765. That's the number to call. 077701765 is the number to call. That's it, folks. You've been following very closely. You can now place in your call the 077701765, the front part of the discussion here tonight on the closing argument on the mid-week presentation. 777017635 is the number to call. To this very first caller. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, this is Louis Coley, and I call from Israel.
Okay.
I would like to begin by sending my sympathy to the people of River for that unfortunate situation. But this is not strange to Africa. In an impoverished or third nation, you always have this. So what happened, but that was done by the so-called asset recovery team, remind me of the rebel days, like the days of the Unimoki days. This was complete act of gangsterism, and we must strongly detest the rule of law must take course. That's not the way to proceed. And President Boyka should lead from the front. And he said he has wisdom, and the wisdom must be applied. We are completely disappointed of what was done today. We hope that the entire so-called other recording should be disbanded immediately. Thank you.
Thank you so kindly. 777017635 is the number to call, and then you're gonna be live here on the closing argument. 077701765. To this call. Hello.
Hello.
I'll do okay though. What's about you?
I'm okay. Well, my name is Eddie of the from Tanzania.
Okay, Evie, go ahead. Make your point. 1 minute.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. I want to compliment the effort of the panelists for highlighting the issue related to our country, Liberia. Yeah. But here's the thing, for me, I want to contribute to the asset recovery team. Look, actually, last time we never get something from someone who blood is diluted I said, what up? Look, for the fact that, you know, this man is already old, and then probably around and telling you that, oh, your football age is something now. I can someone, you know, football age be 79. But the fact that these people were spoken of, you know, from the genesis of the election to, you know, the session of this president, you know, they're not listening. They're not listening.
Okay.
You elect an individual, you know, who is half natural and half a video made of created human being. You never expect anything. So I want to, you know, I think you people should have to really, you know, have life issue confronting Liberia, but we decide for 6 years. Yeah. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. We are inside for 6 years. While we are inside, the argument is open. 770-17635 is the number to call. So this caller, hello.
Hello.
How are you? Your name from where you join us?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to all panelists. This is Sam. We are usually I'm connecting from a local direction.
Okay, Sam, make your point.
Yeah, let's quickly speak on the issue of the asset recovery. I think the thing that was set up by Owen Joe Baba, our president, they are not known well to themselves to the Liberian people. I think that is the first and foremost thing we expected them to adore. At the level of Pato Sulu, Finabolo, the people that are in Liberia. Why you do all those very agencies that are well, all those agencies that are responsible to see how there is that documentation and inequality. You can.
Oh, you went up. Sorry. Hello. How are you? Your name from where you join us?
But you see the part is like that means money. That means like real people money. So even though people go sue that particular team, all money is going there. But the Liberian people taxes going behind it. It's not worker personal money or any of them that own the team personal money. So they don't care what they are doing. It's just crazy. Look here, we live in the United States, these United States. What Trump did? Did the AG just go and start arresting things from Trump and doing all type of craziness? We go to the court. It is not by you just getting in the street and robbing people. So you just see somebody, even a man where buy raspberry, you see all the men working in the government, so they raspberry and what they get. It's just crazy, man. You just got a bunch of morons.
Okay, thank you.
People. And some of those people left from here to go over there. Teach your people the right thing. Don't go over there.
Thank you so much. We have to take this call. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Am I live?
You are live. Your name from where you join us?
Yeah, my name is Portable Story. I'm calling from Maryland.
Okay.
United States. I just want to remind you guys on the show once more that Liberians are unique, and we're going to join it. We're going to join it. People, we all are Liberians. First, I will start off by saying the people that died in joy, we agree. They agree. Jacob Akoli misbehaving at where he is, we agree. Joseph Waka is not in control, we agree as well. DeLong don't get into the darkness and fighting against war and economic transport that will strengthen the country, we agree. President Waka not being we agree. You know, we told the people yesterday, when all of you guys on the platform, as you always doing, fighting for better Liberia, they were all around this place, casting us like these are referring to, trying to tell them that if you want to change God's money, we are. If you're angry and you're about to make a painful decision that will last continue to call, and you will continue to speak for them. So we agree, brother.
Okay, thank you. We agree.
They say Joseph Walker is better than George Weah. We agree.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
We agree.
that Lova caller there. That man too fast.
0-0-0-1-7-6-35.
That Lova out there is full of call.
So this caller, hello.
Yeah, hello.
How are you? Your name from where you join us? 1 minute.
My name is Prince Topa. I call you from Johansen.
Okay, Prince, go ahead.
Yeah. So the issue of the war farm code. You see, for me, I'm disappointed in the American people were pushing now about the war crime code because they sat down there. They decided to free Taylor from jail in America, and they gave one hand that weapon of 40, someone, I didn't want to give it to the man. They put it together in a country with arms and ammunition, without killing each other. Then now they decide, they know that we're coming back together to pour different things aside, they bring another north again.
Okay.
See? Some of our parents there was damaged.
Let him continue.
But we said it now waiting.
Okay, thank you. We're waiting.
He said it very
So let's go. Hello.
Yeah.
How are you? Your name from where you join us?
Oh my goodness.
My name is Nyenwolo. I'm joining you from the US. Thank you so much to the panelists, Tomalin, George, Ben Sanvee, Keff, and Grace. Let me address the issue of the asset recovery, right? From my knowledge, that's what I'm saying. If I were taking a bundle, right, I would slap the government with a very huge lawsuit. You see the quote unquote tested that were arrested by so-called asset recovery team. This is what they don't know. Those tested were being born with a cap from Pinabono. What happened was in a talk or loan for FRC and bought those cars to GPK motor. The car was in, as we speak currently, the cars have been used to pay back the loan that's been took from the bank. Everyone can see clearly that Walker came to the presidency to relent. Because you cannot say you have over 40 years of experience and you cannot go through the basic laws that are on the book. It's so disheartening. Like, I don't know where we want to take our country. We have families in Liberia. We don't want Liberia to go back to the dark days. And it's glaring every day that Walker and his court of officials are doing everything to take Liberia back. And lastly, to the issue of the economic code, as Lofa said, we call on the CDC government to establish the code. We are calling on members of the state, especially Dow, Yombly, and the rest.
Okay.
So now,
that's it.
Thank you.
After this caller.
To the U.S. Congress.
Okay, thank you.
So much.
Thank you so kindly.
Thank you. Yeah, guys, let's try to wrap up.
10 back.
Yeah, let's give a breaking news. Former
Lieberman,
Joe Lieberman,
he died.
Former U.S. Senator, former vice presidential candidate for the Democratic Party in the disputed 2000 elections, has passed, and may his soul rest in peace. He was also a friend of Liberia. I know he visited Liberia a couple of times. So we want to remember him, and his family in this time of bereavement. On a more lighter and exciting note, Senegal has elected a 44-year-old as president. Such an exciting story, inspirational story. I pray and hope that they live up to the expectations of their people. I'm hearing that he is going to be naming Sonko, who is the guy who should have been the president, but was put in jail and, giving Macky Sall and everything for the board not to run for president, right? So, but I'm hearing that he's going to be naming Sonko as prime minister. So Sonko is actually going to head the government as prime minister. He's going to be president. And they have some really radical but progressive thoughts. I mean, there's some speeches they've given talking about France taking, and I know it falls right up Keff and Grace alley. They are very progressive. Keff, I think Keff is the happiest man with that ball winning election in Senegal. He's a Pan-Africanist. But it's just refreshing to see what happened in Senegal. And like I said in a post that I made, if President-elect Faye was in Liberia, we would tell him that he should wait his time. We would tell him that he's too young. He should sit on the old map to plot the new one. We tell him that he should wait for his future. That his future ain't reached yet, even though he's 44. That he not in his future yet. His future is still ahead. We're a country who just elected an 80-year-old man. And we're wondering why we are where we are. We're wondering why we're having this conversation.
Point of correction, Ben. My uncle's 79.
79, sorry. We're wondering why we're having this.
Hey, resettlement age, yeah.
Anyway, we're wondering why we're having this conversation. But I just want to congratulate the people of Senegal. And it's bold.
Guys, I got a couple calls on it.
Bold and audacious decision for them to make the decision they made. And he was in prison 10 days prior to the elections.
Got elected on his birthday.
Got elected on his birthday 10 days prior. My last thought is that the famous thing that is flying around is the fact that he's, when he walked up on the stage, he had his two beautiful wives. Two beautiful wives standing next to him. Yeah, they're trying to figure out which one of them will be first lady because they
are Muslim.
I got callers.
Grace, why are you pushing on your mother for?
Because God pushing my mother because that Senegal, that the culture to marry two wives.
Chatterton said he wanted polygamy in Liberia.
Yeah, Chatterton. Yeah, but the thing is that he wanted it, but the Liberian people wanted no.
You don't support polygamy?
Let me take these calls.
Here's why do people pretend? You step outside Monrovia in all the villages, people have two wives.
Exactly. Grace, don't you think we should have polygamy in Liberia?
Y'all do a referendum, put on the ballot. Let's see what we'll vote for.
All the men will vote for it.
In fact, some women will vote for
we
it.
haven't polygamy in Liberia. We'll have polyandry in Liberia. Where women get married, or women get
No. There's nothing called polyandry. There's nothing called polyandry. Stop it. Don't go there.
She made up that word.
Breakable
power. Let's hear from you. Hurry, you got a minute. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
I listened to, I saw the video and I watched the video twice when they made a video scene. And then what really gets to my mind is, I'm not going to talk about it. The president has more advisors than any other president in the past in Liberia, since Liberia appointed. Most advisors. The president spent 45 years in government and 12 years as vice president. I know why they caused Liberia to get in the war. And know what happened in Liberia. Or what happened in the political arena. For this thing to happen, and the president not coming out to even talk, how will you get to people that are working with you, doing things that is wrong, and you're lying there doing it? How will the person that go on the street like so kind like a policeman without even investigation? What kind of people is this? You know, the thing is it's funny and it's so terrible. Those people that are doing it, so someone else voted for them. They doing this too. That was recent. Some people are working in the government are voted for them. It's not having consideration. Why would they people give it this to the country? It's not because you get power. When you get power, those that get soon. When you leave for power and other people get it, they do the same thing. How will the country progress? When this thing happening, the president has more advisor than any other president, and he himself working government. You know all those things are happening in our country. Why can't take control of their own government?
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Brigadier Power. Let's take out next call. Gus, come on. Let's hear from you. Gus, come on. Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, guys. First of all, I've been wanting to talk about this discussion for a long time. First of all, it just baffles me to understand like Liberia, where we elect or appoint everyone based on how many degrees they have and so forth and so forth. But yeah, we have a country that old where when people get hired, you would think there would be some kind of a data on all equipment assigned to them. Because I mean, those of us that have a low cartoon pushing job in this America, even from the keys that I get to my office, my laptop, and everything else, it's something that I have to turn in. There is an inventory of such. So why is it? I mean, looking at this stuff is so elementary. I don't even know if I see where Liberia is going. I don't care who you are going after and getting assets from, but you're telling me the current government does not have a list of what each government official had obtained when they took on the different positions. And if those people do not turn those things in, like in any other civilized country, we cannot take them to court for defrauding us, the government, and the citizens of Liberia. And this is the manner in which that we're still operating. It's a shame, man. But that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for the topic.
Thank you, Gosh Kurma. I will keep the phone lines open. That's it. But if we get two more calls, we'll take it, and that's it. So that's it, guys.
Okay, guys.
Great.
Quickly, let me just talk on our mind, and then we can call it. So we'll start with Grace. What's on your mind, Grace?
What is on my mind? The President Faye. Oh God, y'all listen to his speech. The man's speech was so brilliant. Liberians, the last elections. Usually in Liberia, we set the tune for everything in Africa. You notice it? First female president, first. The last election, we should have set it up for the youngest president ever in Africa. We rejected that. But the Senegalese people got it, and they made a very great decision. The guy is outspoken. He knows what he wants to do. He is a leader. He came to lead. And one thing he said that touched my heart. He said that
Grace, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Hold up. We got 3 folks on the line right now before I close the line. Let's take them, and then we can close out, okay, please? Because they're already on the line. All right. Guys, go ahead. Let's take the first call at 612-9634. Your name and where you calling from. Let's hear from you.
Go. This is Ben calling from Minnesota.
Go ahead, Ben.
First of all, I have 2 questions. So let's agree that those cars were for Bono and they were running business. So who will incur the cost of the loss that will be that happened? Just in case if they went to court and they found out that those cars were gotten legitimate. Now, and then my last question is it lawful for agencies like this access recovery team that was not established by legislators to have money placed in the budget? Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Let's take our next caller here. 267 last 4 is 2323. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Yes, Loba. Thank you very much for picking my call. I will not something. I don't want people to know that. Actually, I'm calling from the U.S. Well, I didn't, even though I'm already an American citizen, I didn't want to become one. I wanted to go Liberia. But what happening currently in Liberia, that's the reason why I even try to get an American citizen. And this man, I'm not any expert in anything like that. Happening today, the video we saw, the so-called recovery people was going on. Look, as a common man, I would even teach them when they want to recover something. Wow. There's a way to recover anything. So, and you have no list, you have no record of anything that the government owns. The GSA for nothing, absolutely nothing. They just went and embarrassed the country. Have more than 800 people watching, embarrassing the country. And this man was the most educated, most
Thank you, caller. Caller, thank you. All right, I had to let that caller go. Caller, let's 609-0724. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, Julius. Good evening, man. Good evening, guys. Great show. Good evening to all of the panelists and the analysts and everything. Listen, guys.
Your name.
Liberia
Your name and where you calling from?
Oh, sorry, man. This is Abraham Conner calling from New Jersey.
Oh, Abraham, welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Judea. Listen, Liberia is at a crossroad, and it's highly pathetic to see what's unfolding in that country right now. You know that many people have referenced, right? I work in an institution that the computer, the laptop I use, there is a barcode on a laptop that periodically I receive email to tell me to update as to whether I still have this laptop in my possession. I confirm it. So for people, I mean, the ineptitude is at all levels prevailing in a government over there. This just indicates to me that the folks at the DSA, they don't even know their functions. Because first and foremost, if you're going to take inventory of what the government properties are, you're going to call the people that just have the media government official, hey, look, you have one laptop. Can you make it available? If the person refuses, it institute legal measures. That's the most civilized thing to do. But gangsterism is on steroids over there. Gangsterism is on steroids.
Thank you.
Thank you. And let me just close on this.
Go ahead.
But the Sudo, the car that Baptist Sudo, they just embarrassed that guy with the deal. That car is a 2016 car that Baptist Sudo been using ever since a GSA sold it to him because it was a damaged car that he fixed as it is, and he used it, and he embarrassed that guy over there today. Wow. He got to produce documents to them. Even the GSA, former GSA deputy director just came and get clarification. And then went through the protocols to get that car. What's going on in that country? It's not inside, gentlemen. But we're not relent. Let's keep speaking on it, man.
Thank you. Last caller. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Last caller, 704-3223. Let's go. Your name and where you calling from. Let's hear from you.
Okay. Mr. Julius and the panelists, this is Rocky. First time calling from Charlotte, North Carolina. Ben Sanvee, please accept my request. It's right. You've done before. But anyway, back to the topic. Anyway, I see nothing in Liberia right now as a governance body, but irresponsible people hanging out with an old man who cannot make decisions for the country. And we believe and we think, Liberians, we think it is a joke until the people get fed up and they can't see nothing going for the country and get on the street. But I believe, even with that being said, I believe that that's why they want it. They want that because there's no way they can govern the country straight. Number one, nobody has shown any respect for the country as far as taking Inspector General, like Patrick City, and just stopping me on the street. Even if this document was not right, be a sensible person in the government and say, okay, we have a responsible government now. Well, let this man go and tell him, bring the car to us whenever you can the next day. That's a responsible and a mature and people who come to make a change. Those are the kind of things you want to do. When CDC do it and say, oh, the CDC was too soft. I'm not backing for nobody. Go ahead and retrieve assets for the government, but why be so irresponsible? This man was a government official. Whether he was stealing right there or not, be responsible enough. But there's no responsible person in that government that I've seen. And the staff of Liberia, because when Liberia gets ready, now the Liberian will change to crime. But that's what they is. Thank you. Liberians will give it to him. Thank you.
Thank you. I got no more calls.
Okay, guys, we got limited time, so we'll just give everybody at least 1 minute to give their what's on their mind quickly. So Grace. What's
Yeah,
on
I
your
was
mind?
just yeah, I was just saying, the record that Senegal set is impressive for Africa for Africans. So, I hope his leadership bring a light to like the eyes of Liberians for them to see that we need innovative and you know energetic, experienced leaders in our country. And that one of the things I wanted to say. I also wanted to stress on the miners and we're not hearing anything from the government. It's so sad, because we complain, but we are not saying anything but things happen in the country. How come this new government that's supposed to have the so-called civilized people who's supposed to know what to do and they have experience, how they're following the same thing that we are doing, and it's not good for the country at all. I would say Teresa Kumen was beaten by young youth of Liberia, and she died. There was no arrest. I'm waiting for the director of police to come so I can ask him that. Why have there not been any arrests on that particular case, and nobody's saying anything? And we don't like that quietness, because Liberians, we listen. So when you're talking, it helps to save the country from things, especially when you're in the position of power. So then we expect those things of the government. And I sent a picture to Tomalin. Two babies were on a motorbike riding in the streets of Monrovia, and it's so sad that things that are supposed to be fought for against, they're not even saying anything but that. So these are the things that are on my mind. We still pray for the country, and we hope that the president can still make a 360, which I don't know whether he would be able to do that at the age he had, but we still hoping. Thank you.
I'm just telling Caleb, what on your mind, man?
Still calling this mental.
Quick. I would just end on this. The night has been long, great show. I hope we can repeat some of these things by Friday. One interestingly, President Faye in Senegal camping with the broom. I mean, I went through his video and different.
Really?
With the broom in Senegal.
Yeah, he did that.
The same broom was rejected in Liberia. You see the contrast?
But maybe because the broom in Liberia says you should sit on old mat.
Oh man, we're not using old mat anymore.
But guys, here is the issue here. I'm making this contrast to point to the issue of the age. Guys, age cannot be a political vision. Age cannot be a political agenda. Because we have equally bad young people, like we have plenty of them in Liberia now, and we get equally bad old people that we get in Liberia now. So we have to look for the individual records, right? Faye and Songo made a way in the political ladder because they decided to work with the tax administration, and they saw corruption, and they took on corruption while working and joined the union lines. And what did they do? They tried to organize smaller political parties to break away with the party that have been ruling forever. That's what they did. Similar thing can be trying in Liberia. You can have small political parties who come together outside the CDC and the Unity Party. And they can change. If you campaign on a real, reliable change message, you can do it.
Let me go. My closing? Great conversation. I think you can't plant pepper and expect okra. It's unfortunate, but I never believed, and I have nothing against President Joe Buckeye. In fact, I love the old man. I think he's a good man. But I think when running a country like Liberia, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf had a very effective first term. Very effective. Far from perfect, but very effective. She did a lot. She inherited a broken country. She inherited a country that virtually was on the floor. I like to use the analogy of, the road from the mansion to Vamoma House. I remember when Ellen became president, that place was so rocky. It used to take people 2 to 3 hours just to move from Vamoma House to the executive mansion. I said the whole of Monrovia. I said Jeddah little court. And I remember the first symbol of success, or the first symbol of a new government had come into play. Ellen chose to tackle that. She said, this is going to be symbolic, right? To send a message that Liberia is back. And they went and they literally dug up that whole area and put a new asphalt there. Up to today, I don't think any reconstruction or pothole has come in that space, because it was done well. It was done well. When you build roads are supposed to last for years and years. Why am I saying this? But when Ellen won re-election, and I'm saying this because this is a personal conversation that I had with her. Ellen did not want to run for re-election. She really genuinely intended to come, in her words, in 2005, that she wanted to be the Nelson Mandela of Liberia. Come, set the basis, and retire. And you know, to the point now that she going for 12 years, she 85-year-old, right? She wanted to enjoy her post-presidency, her words to me. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because when she was pressured into running, not only by her supporters, but also by the international community, who feared that CDC wasn't ready, right? That they knew the choices was either going to be Ellen or CDC. And they felt, they said, oh, well, Madam President, you have to finish what you started. But when she won the election, you started to see Ellen government and her output, you started to see some decline, because she was getting older. The pressure from the first 6 years, you could even see it in her physical appearance.
Yeah.
People, the way she moved, the things, the way she was still a workaholic who would go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning and leave at 10. But those who were closest to her would tell you about how she started to lack interest in certain things. The vigor that they saw her. When you enter her office, you see the pile of documents on her table. The pile of documents started to reduce. It came with nature. So when she finally retired, you could see that she was a woman who was tired. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because we had a choice in 2023. The argument that was made in 2023 was very clean. You may not like everything George Weah is doing. You don't like him. He's not, whatever the qualms you had against George Weah. But if you want to change George Weah, if this is about change, you have other options than Joseph Boakai. Not because he's a bad man. Not because he doesn't love his country. No, that's not why. But because what's happening today was predicted. That people would take advantage of the fact that this man is not the man that he was in 2017 when he ran for president. Even at that point in time, he was aging. So I say this to mean that he's our president now. He's going to be for the next 6 years, God willing. And we have to live with this. Elections have consequences. And so when a lot of people are very far from perfect, but I would just say that we should brace ourselves. We as a nation should brace ourselves, because I fear that there's going to be a lot of these things happening, all because the man that is steering this ship, as alert or as attentive as he may want to be, it's almost like you can fight sleep. You can be the youngest man. When sleep catch you, forget it. You got to go to bed. So I just want to say, elections have consequences and we must brace for it. We will have another opportunity in 2029. But before we get to 2029, we have no clue what's going to happen between now and 2029. All we can do is to pray and hope for the best for Liberia. and we will continue to do our part. That's my
okay, Mr. Moderator. Let me go. I'm freezing down here. Okay.
But who responsible are
Why
you?
don't you get a portable? Why don't you get a portable heater?
Get a portable heater.
Yeah, get a portable heater and
Well, I
stop being
get a
cheap.
heating blanket right here.
Yeah, but you gotta be announcing that you're freezing. Who responsible? You get heating your
I'll send the cash. I'll send the cash.
No, I get heat here, but basement always cool, man. I get heat down there. Basement always cool. But let me see this.
You want to ruin my parade?
Let me see this.
My basement myself.
Let me see this guy. Let me see this, guys. You know, I sometimes don't want to blame the folks that voted for JMB because you guys, most people, especially some young folks, but most people have had their you know, their senses, their other, you know, things during the war. There was no school, no country, nothing. People live as a refugee. So the mindset different. And then you get a lot of politicians who decide to go through the mindset of folks. I'm not taking a stab at Lofa Julius. Maybe he would take it. But I remember when I used to say this thing to him, he didn't believe me. He thought that all I was doing is because I was supporting the CDC. So I was not the right messenger to talk to him about those things, but he didn't believe me. But I realized that some of those guys, a lot of people don't actually know Liberia. They actually don't know Liberia. They actually don't know JMB. They actually don't know the past 12 years. So they were just talking and stuff and all those things. You know, for example, let me give this example. We ask people, they'll say, but Joe Biden, oh, but why did not tell the people that the Americans never voted for Joe Biden because of his age? It's because of his record. He spent over 40 years as a lawmaker. His records are there. Even the freedom of Black people in South Africa, Joe Biden was one of the people in Congress who fought for that. He was vice president under one of the successful presidents. They passed the affordable health care for people to have health care today. The record there. Then you want to compare that with GMB. But the things that sometimes get me, you know, is folks that who live in America, and when you tell them, the more blind than the folks who in Liberia. Grace, you come across that here? When you talk to folks who live.
Oh yeah, Kev.
Yes.
Just laughing because one man said, no. They shimmer themselves for voting for GMB. That why
Yeah, folks who in America, when you talk to them, they're more worse than the folks.
Too much.
I mean, it's not.
You know, so and it baffles me. You know, sometimes when I just listen to our people, then I realize that we're going backward. We're going backward. Imagine a man who got fired for heading the Green Revolution, that he telling you that I will make agriculture under my regime, agriculture. But they try him as the Minister of Agriculture, they fire him. But arrest, agriculture is the first. Then you believe him. And, you know, Maya Angelou said, you know, if you tell me who you are for the first time, I'll believe you. And Joe Buckeye told us from his job under Simon Kayando, the whole world should know that he couldn't handle it. So sometimes the folks in Liberia, you know, they when you talk to them, you can get something out of them, because most of I'm telling you, the threatening folks in America, threatening folks in Liberia. If you don't vote for Joe Biden, I will not send you this. I will not take care of you. I will not do this for you. And people want to live. I listened to Amara Connett today. He said on OKFM, the George Weah government had COVID, and COVID was one of the problems that injured the government because it injured the entire world. He talked about his Ebola. But then when some of us, you know, made that case, guess what they said to us? You dog. You don't have sense. Then sometimes a little better ask. It's people in America who know that COVID was a factor in the entire world will tell you that's not true. And they will tell the people back home that's a lie. But Amara Connett today said the same thing. He basically made the case for CDC. He made the case for CDC. So I would just rest here that the last thing I will say, and I always say this to people, politics is one. Politics are one thing. You understand? But making a stupid nation will follow the generation, the people, our young sister and brother, our children, because the way I see Liberia, if we don't stop and know that what we say to our people, if we don't stop, we'll have a stupid nation for a very. Some people open their mouth, especially people who live here, when they open their mouth, I say, Jesus Christ. Now, as we see, the lies and the over promising lies to the people catching up on them. Now, what Amara said today, he said in July he went. JMB went to Ivory Coast for LEC. He said they promised in July, but now in the upcoming budget, no money there to pay for LEC. But they said the LEC that in July they will come. I think if I'm not, because I think Lofa, you listen to the show. I think he said the one they'll be getting in July, I think from 6 to 6. That's the plan.
Kev, I was too young to listen to that show.
Yeah, 6 to 6. No, listen, Lofa. This is not
time, guys.
It's not games. But hey, let me say this. But folks who live here, who did the same thing in the 80s against Samuel Doe and Broad War, are the same folks who did the same thing and change and bring this and GMB will cause trouble for Liberia. We got to stand up. If we don't, I am afraid of things that will happen in our country. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, look how quickly on your mind.
Okay, quickly, and then I apologize. I may not be as quick as we will prefer, but I will try to address a couple of things here. First of all, I will start with Keff Hassan's a mindset on the issue of bad governance, and comparing it to that of what the UP is currently carrying on. Let me be emphatically clear on my position about considering both of you, the Unity Party and that of the CDC, no different. The only thing that I see with President Weah to that of Honorable Boykai is the age difference. Okay, there may have been some good things that were done, but it only exposed to some extent based on the Unity Party failure to act based on what they promised. And that's why the like of us, myself and other people, chose to remain neutral. And we said we would not support either one of you because it's not there. I look for quality. I don't see quantity. Okay? When we speak to issues, we are issues driven. When I listening to you talk about all people lie to the people in Liberia, the three missing boys. Okay? When we speak of the issue of the current situation in the country, healthcare, security, education, you really consider education, quality education, as being able to put thousands of young people in school and not being able to compose a fitting sentence void of grammatical error or kind of spelling error? You think that's education? You're eloquent enough to sit on this platform, Keff Hassan, and present what you believe in. You know why? Because the investment done in your education speaks volume. So when someone disagrees with your government, that does not negate the fact that they cannot also consider where you perform adequately and compare it to that of the current government and show the errors and failure. And I would say this without any fear of favor. Based on the recent trend of events, the UP government continued to make CDC to look like a diamond in the dirt because of their continuous failures on just little things that they're supposed to do. Have you guys noticed as of recent the same complaints we had about President George? We are traveling around the country with cameras. You know that every UP elected or appointed government official, everywhere they go, whether they're going to the dump site, like Mo Ali today, who simply went to do his own evaluation or assessment, told the people he had to take camera behind him. But when George Weah did this thing, we said George Weah was unfit. He was just grandstanding. Darius DeLong came up. They all spoke about it. Do you hear them? Everywhere there's some kind of little nothing going on. They got camera there. You know how your performance is determined? Your performance is not determined based on the suit and tie you wear to go to work. Your performance is based on the results. When you are performing adequately, when the people start to sense the result from your performance, you will not need camera behind you. And that's the reason why people who are hired to work in the United States, they don't go in the offices with camera to take pictures of their projects and go show it to say, look, this is the project I'm doing. The results at the end of the year is set on your performance evaluation. I will end on that note. And if you feel like you need to continue with this question about why people held the Weah government feet to the fire, I have no regret. We will continue to do it, and that's why we do it, and we will continue to do it almost every day. Now, to the American thing, I want to say this again. I earlier congratulated him for the fact that at least he mustered the courage to do something that a lot of his colleagues, like the likes of Edward Snow, Alex Tyler, and other people, we are yet to hear of them. But at least he came up, he set some precedent, something we expected from him. But my argument here have never been about simply declaring your asset. It have always been about declaring and publishing your asset. Today he made it clear. He said, okay, Lofa, I agree with you. You fought for this thing to have the asset declared, but I will publish it at my own time. That tells me that everything he spoke about, he meant nothing. Because if he did, he would have declared and published his asset. As a matter of fact, some of his supporters lied that he already had it declared, but he just did not publish it when he just simply did it today. Nevertheless, as a parent, I feel like humans, we are incentive driven. So I will give him a little pat on the back and say, thank you for at least taking that bold step to declare your asset and talk about it publicly. Now come out and publish it, because I'm not satisfied. UP literally, again, as I stated earlier, makes the CDC look like a diamond in the dirt. dirt. They are performing dismally, even though it only less than 100 days. But I'm telling you, based on what they're doing, they will continue to make CDC to look good. And as a matter of fact, people will start to yearn for President we are returns if we are not very careful because of how bad the UP government is performing. And this is no joke about it. To see that people are in the streets performing what they call asset retrieval, it's sad, sad. Young people, and I not end on this note, young people in Liberia who believe that government job is the only way out. I want you to start thinking about something else. There are other options, alternatives out there. Invest in science, math, technology, so that you would not be like those who pretend to be activists, okay? And in the end, they're simply doing it in the best interest of their selfish pockets. And that is the case of the likes of Martin Colley and other people who call other people names and call them out for nothing. But today, they are sleeping in bed with the same armed robbers, those who caused Liberia to be to where it's at, and they're pretending to be on asset recovery team. You want to recover Liberia? Get your real end out there and see what you appointed, right? Go there. And to all of you who actually ran to Liberia to run campaigns, and unfortunately, they just did you dirty by not offering you a piece of job because you don't have what it takes. We told you guys, prepare yourself and stop sitting on these various virtual platforms. Prepare yourself adequately. Grace, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this on here. The little girl, the picture you sent me, Mom, is disheartening. I'm sorry to say, but you know, I just feel bad to post it up here. I'm going to try to share it on my personal page, but because of time, due to time constraints, we are not able to do that. But it's sad to see that you have two babies sitting on the bike without helmet, and this guy is riding around. But I'll close on that note. They say the consistency is what counts, and we must continue to do what we do in the best interest of Mama Liberia. Thanks for having me on again today. Let's continue.
Okay, quickly, just for program notes, on Friday we have the Inspector General for Police, Colonel Kuma, will be our guest. On Monday we have the CDC Acting Chairman for the first time, Janka Kuo, he'll be our guest. And we have 34 more days for President Bouaga's first 100 days. 34 more days, he'll be his first 100 days. So we're looking forward to inviting his press secretary and his Minister of Information to talk about his first 100 days on that day, May 1st. We have them that week. And also, just another thing, as I say in my mind here, President, we have invited on April 13th to the Harvard University. And we look forward to seeing him to come there. And that's why when you form a president, and especially what he did to the petition you receive, you know, from around the world, it's up to him to come and make good of it and engage the student at Harvard. But I want to say finally,
I heard it. I heard people on social media say it's not legit though. They say it was just a group of Harvard University.
Propaganda.
It's propaganda, eh? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Doing a similar thing, but again, that's one of the things we talk about. The people
we applaud you, President. We are go there and make us proud. We applaud you.
There you go. To be the content of this message.
These guys, Richard Quinn and Prince Toast, I would call them. I'm sorry to say, but they are fraud. You know, they were on a program. Yeke was on a program on Clarence Jackson program, and they came and said the coupon that was given to Yeke, they didn't know where he got it from World Trade Center. And other colleagues called, other representatives called and said it is true. They were legitimate stuff. And again, but the Ministry of State, they quickly went and canceled it because Yeke exposed them. Wow. And I will say this.
So the people worse than CDC.
President Chris got to be very careful. He's involved in a lot of stuff, and believe me, he'll be the first official of the Bouaga government that will sanction. That woman is involved in a lot of corrupt activities.
Who, Prince Toast?
No, Sylvester Grisby, who's the Minister of State of President Bouaga. He's involved in a lot of stuff. They came out with that $4,500 of voucher stuff. Yeke exposed them, so they canceled it quickly. And he canceled it quickly and said he took it from a World Trade Center, you know, and that's bad and sad. But I tell you again, Richard Kuhn, I'm happy you wasn't made speaker because you show your corrupt behavior. The people accuse you of being corrupt in an NGO setting, and then when you made that call and said, You know what Yeke was talking about? I was like, wow. And then Prince told the guy who replaced Akaros Gray. He said, like, I've been to help people. That man would have been a changed man. He
Right.
got it now, and he's into corruption. He the one who handing out the voucher, and he telling the people, say, you can prove where you got it from. And the other joker who's running for Senate in Nima, I think Prince Johnson endorsed in Coca, he was in criminal justice. You gotta get evidence trying to justify it to look, you guys are jokers and
they know we will never believe that Yeke actually will lie on our fortune. That man will not do that. But he will not lie.
Okay, guys, they give it for the people, you know, and it's wrong. And again, as I said, we want to condemn them. And what they are doing, Liberian people, open your eyes. You lucky the same people over and over. They come and fool you guys every 6 years, every 9 years. They come and fool you guys and give you guys some money and face hand pump. Give you guys a bag of rice and you guys it's embarrassing. And lastly, I heard that Liberia drew yesterday, right, with Djibouti. How come? I thought we beat about 2-0.
Yeah, but when we came home, Honorable Boycott were on the field, so they said that's a problem.
Oh, really?
They Liberia where they did well. They did well.
But qualify, do qualify.
Well, we qualify, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Qualify.
You know what, Tomalin? I think our problem is the fact that we did not appreciate the track athletes who won medals and came home. I don't record seeing the president, appreciating them. I don't record seeing people at the airport acknowledging and appreciating these people. And
I think a lot of stuff behind that stuff. So
track and field is, it's also a sport. Again, that's the politics of things that happens in Liberia. It's unfortunate, but anyway.
But today Sunday, I saw the video now here, but today Sunday funny happened though. When CDC was having a press conference today.
Oh yeah.
Yeke went to that point. Yeke was going to the press.
Yeah, Henry sent me the video.
Everything just. I mean, the people just went like yo. I mean, he and Foko arrived together. I mean, Yeke took his story show. Mm-hmm. But you know that one. And I'm happy the chairman of CDC coming here on Monday because what they did today, the hardest opposition should be doing. You engage in. They put in the government on notice that they are being provoked. They are written in ECOWAS, the UN, the AU, and the US Embassy, the European Union, telling us, say, people are provoking us. And when we react, you guys should not blame us. And I think Baga and administration need to be very careful because you want Liberians to get investors coming to the country to provide jobs for the people and develop our country. You can't be provoking your main opposition party because if they start to do protests and things, no matter put money in Liberia. And I will tell people, Grace, when Ellen was president for 12 years, she was blessed to have 18,000 foreign troops on the ground. Right now, we don't have none. And if you try to push that country, that video, you can't run.
Yeah, even when Dad said she was the way she did, she was very calm.
Yeah, she worked with we are, and how come they're able to maintain the peace in the country? Mm-hmm. And you get robbing to that CDC, and the entire CDC, the Coca was there by the chairman, Maggie, they were all there this afternoon. And now, with all these things, you got following, you got followers. You want to start provoking these people, they gang up together. You think, man, they got to be careful. You got to be very careful. Yep. Because it's not going to be good for them. They continue pushing their colleagues to push like this. It's not fair. But that's a great show.
It was. That's what I said, Tomalin. UP continue to make CDC to look really good. And as it continues, Kev will continue to have points on me every time he will take jab. But I mean, yeah, he will continue to take jab because literally President Weah is looking far better off than what Boycott is doing. But,
finally, for you who are Christians, today is the Holy Week. You know, the night I did Judas betray Jesus, right? Not today.
Yeah, I sure he was a Liberian.
I thought he chose to betray Jesus.
By the way, let's correct this, right? A lot of people keep saying Julius. No, the name of that person is Judas, not Julius. Stop saying Julius.
Julius was a typical Liberian man. Judas. He was
Judas.
On this day, on the Holy Week. We know Holy Week, guys. So that be holy. Keep it holy. Everybody, I hope you keeping it holy because Jesus entered Jerusalem on Sunday, the triumphant entry. On Sunday, he will be resurrected. No, they will kill him on Friday, right?
They will put him on the cross on Friday.
Last supper I went. That tomorrow, last supper.
Only I'm doing you with the king
Last
of
supper, Grace.
Yeah.
Then on Friday, they will kill him. And then,
Yeah, Friday he will go on the cross, they will crucify him.
Okay.
And then Sunday he will resurrect.
Hosanna into the highest.
Hosanna, the only God that never left on the ground are Jesus Christ. And that's why we believe in him.
Herman John, take over.
He rose.
Take over, buddy.
He rose. Hallelujah. Christ rose.
Oh, Herman going to sleep.
Herman,
that's all done. Herman, take over, man.
They'll take care.
I'll see you on Friday.
Yeah, on Friday. Okay.
The data will be on Friday. So,
all right, guys.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, guys, thanks, man. The pig sleeping. Oh, Aaron. Oh, somebody in the studio. Hey, Aaron, take over now. Aaron, take over. You got it? Okay. I'll see you, buddy.
We cry for peace. Lord, we cry for love in this name. I'll tell you, no one I can put on fire. We
I tell you this all the time, we have to be here today on the closing argument. The time stands at exactly 25 minutes down 12 o'clock here in Liberia. Let me say, it's been very, very much fascinating, educative, and informative there with our panelists on the closing argument. Join us on Friday. I wish I'm going to be here again for another show. Let me say many thanks to the team there, 2FM 96.9 in Nimba County, Saclapie for reading this program, and other affiliate radio stations. For the on behalf of the team, my name is Henry Jad. Bye bye from my end.